Welcome to Nycos. Today is Dawn Guard. Today's episode, Endings and Beginnings. I'll have my players introduce themselves. Let's start with our primary chord, then Miri, Kassarak, and the Sir Not Yet appearing in this film. So take it away, chord. Or
Or,
don't.
or,
He got his microphone and then vanished. Go ahead, Miri.
Or Dawn Blue.
Yeah.
are you experimenting with symbols, odd symbols?
Yep.
Oh,
I wanted to have a cool symbol for the X.
well, that looks more like some sort of T than an X. Or maybe a something.
Go ahead, Gene. Introduce your character.
Okay, I'm Miri Elwin,
We'll introduce the other
cleric,
one in a minute.
first cleric of the Rainbow Veil. And there is a new god in the heavens or wherever these gods reside, current ones, and it is Pris, Prismus.
Yep. It's Prismus at ground zero. The button has been pressed.
Anyway, and I am.
That makes perfect sense. That happened in the now because that makes him a Prismus present.
Yes. Oh. uh, right now I'm going with Cord as Cord goes finds his mentor so he can finish his
Ascension
path
protocols.
of ascension. Yeah, the path towards ascension.
Path of Depression. Sorry, that's mine. Never mind.
Okay, so I'm going to soon be leaving, but right now I'm with him until he gets his mentor, and then she can hopefully safely leave him in the mentor's hands.
It'll be before that, Gene, because we already talked about that. But anyway, Kassarak.
Yeah.
I am Cataract B, somewhat currently uncomfortable priest of the Green Veil. I really don't know what I'm gonna do as of late. I mean, I'm gonna record the history as requested. Wait, okay. Yeah, I got it. But I'm kind of at a crossroads right now, and we'll see where that crossroads leads.
Cool.
Temporarily.
Back to you, Cord.
Yep.
Cord is here in spirit, if not in body.
Clearly, he already ascended without us.
And we're still in the transitional process for adding the next character, who will be played by.
I don't know. Who's coming?
You don't know who you are?
Nope. I haven't quite decided. I know I'm going to play a bard.
Excellent.
Okay.
I don't know if his name's Traxus or if I'm going to bring back.
This way. If not, you can play a pole weapon and kind of be bardish.
Haha. I could bring back Valerian.
No, he's definitely an
but I don't know.
soul. That's true.
He's got some really nice shoes and a gold
I'm
mask.
back. What I missed?
Just
well,
ready for your introduction, sir.
Oh, I play Cord, Goliath Fighter level 19.
Alrighty. So,
you should be higher than that.
21. Very sorry.
Yeah.
Looked at the old copy of the character sheet. too far down on the page or something. All right, so the story so far is Cord is in the process of figuring out what he's going to do to take over rulership of Bridgeton in the light of a...
Incorrect.
No? Okay,
We were up in the kingdom where the Rondar people were, and
Oh,
we
we're
had
in
cattle.
Eldersar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I'm already de facto king of what's it called?
Bridgeton,
Bridgeton.
Bridgeton.
for lack of a better term. Yes, the full hell vault and all of that. Yes.
we we were looking for Rondar's grave and flag, and we went to Eldathar because that's where the trail led.
Right, and you followed it to the flag outside, right? That was the time the guys had
Yeah.
the flag on the outside.
Yeah, and the old man and the old woman.
Who
Gotcha.
turned out to be two
A
very
goat, a goat person, and a woman who then turned into a tall, well-built young warrioress.
Rediscovered her route or whatever.
Yeah.
And you pissed off the goat guy who he'd had her under his thrall and was not too pleased with you guys. That's all I remember.
well. I think what upset him was we healed him, which turned him back into a goat from an old man. He wanted to be an old man because,
Well, he was an old
Well,
he was an old goat and had everything figured out. And now life's all
yeah.
confused. All right. So where's your next step from there, Cord?
mm, there was going to be a feast in town
Uh,
around a Rainbow Bell Temple in one day
Ah,
or 2 days.
cool.
I don't really know what my next plan is or step. I mean,
Well,
I
you
think we were good.
I guess we could look for another banner.
gonna
One sec.
continue the search.
Um, yeah, that sounds exactly.
Alrighty. So going north out of here, or rather east out of this valley, or further on into the reaches of above Eldrasar. Um, the if you ask people about the Rondar symbol and stuff, some of them seem to find it familiar, others not so much. But it's difficult to get a purchase on an actual lead until you come to a place on the ground. As you're passing along, let's go ahead and have Kasarak roll the observation check or perception check rather. I
Alrighty.
imagine this whole conversation has had him rather downcast, so I imagine he's trying to figure what's going on because Miri has been a little bit more distant over the last couple of days. See, it's almost like she's been
With him.
yes,
More preoccupied with him.
with
Grr.
him. Yes, him.
Well,
And my
he
perception.
left a couple days ago. He had to go somewhere.
Yes, but you keep.
Yeah, I guess so.
So that would be a 20.
Okay, so you see that there's the pathway has been pretty much an old dirt trail. It's fairly frequently used, so it's rutted in a few places. But what you notice is that the rutting has revealed what looks to be like the edge of some form of stone construction, mostly buried in the dirt. It seems
Yes.
odd and incongruous given the positioning you're at, so it just draws your attention. It's like why is that like that, and why is what did they bury, or if they didn't bury it, why wasn't it uncovered, that kind of thing, because it's fairly
Kazarak is gonna hold up his hand to stop and be like, "Do you guys see that?" And point to the stone carving or stone outcropping.
You think it's an old road?
well it almost looks like the edge of what might be a foundation or something, because it's substantive and solid and has a right angle cut to it. And the wagons apparently, as they've rolled across it, have dropped. As the majority of the weight of the wagon has gotten close, is pushed down into a depression alongside the concrete, if you will,
Huh.
the heavier rock.
Hmm.
Do you have any sort of spell that might reveal? Are you a druid or a priest?
Druid.
Okay, don't you have shape earth or something like that? Or move earth? Move earth. It's a druidic cantrip, I think.
No, it's an old 60s love song. I feel the earth move
Move.
under my feet. I'm sorry.
I'm
I,
gonna try and cast that if I can.
So we see Kasarak pull out his baton and start singing, I feel the earth move under my feet, and the ground. The dirt cracks and peels away from it, revealing that it is some sort of foundation stone, or at least the edge of a foundation, suggestive of a building of rather massive size once stood on this location.
hmm,
From what we see, does it look like it can be
hmm.
since
Ex-
it got buried, does it look like there's a way down into this?
Well, at this point, it's
Forgotten.
just the corner of a foundation, but what it does do is give you two directions to dig further along either the the north south axis, or along the east west axis.
He's gonna just turn to both of them and be like, "Which access do you want me to start digging towards?"
um, just as a simple augury, we are the best way to get to an entrance to this is it to the right.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's a good wheel or a
That
woe.
really wasn't a good wheel or woe.
No, that is not
You
a good
asked two
wheel or
different
woe.
questions at the same time and wanted two different kinds of answers. Because you don't even
Pick
know
us
really much about the facility. It can't be. You keep talking about entrance, but it's literally you're looking at concrete on the ground. So yeah, I don't know how to. Have you ever seen a structure that was blown down by a tornado or whatever, where all that's left is the slab?
foundation,
Yeah,
the slab.
this is the slab. This is just the edge of the slab.
Okay. Uh,
You don't even know what kind of a building it is or what
Kasarak,
kind of size.
just pick a direction and we'll go with it. And let's see if I can figure out something that might help you.
So there's you said northeast and
North to south and east to west. It's built in a cardinal position, so it's going to match up correspondingly to the north, south, east, west boundaries of north. What is
so I'm
directional.
gonna go from to the east west side and see how far I can dig out from there.
Okay, okay. So digging along the corner you're at is basically the north east corner. So digging southward from here, it takes probably till the middle of the morning, and the process would be something along the lines of, well, it's here, so let's. I think it should be about 2 feet out, and digging down and finding the space there. So with perforated digging like that, it really doesn't take too long to figure out that it's over 60 feet in length along this axis, and that there is a round portico, a about a 15-foot diameter area off the center of that is also concrete. So completely underneath what would be the road. So in order to excavate it, you're actually digging into the center of the roadway.
Oh, well, we'll just make the roadway go around from now on.
Yeah, it looks like the whatever it was long ago just got buried in such a fast fashion that nobody either noticed or cared that they were running over the old
Okay,
ruins.
so when we start digging into the center of the roadway, I kind of stop and look around to see if we're getting any weird looks like, why are these guys digging into our roadway?
Okay. It's not frequently traveled, but it's regularly traveled. So the markings indicate that wagons go by here, but there's nothing that suggests there'd be somebody that would come by while you were working on it.
Okay.
Okay, that's
So we
disturbing.
could.
My head just vanished. Do you see that on the screen? I don't have a head anymore. That's really weird.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, you're a blinding light.
From the chin. That was weird.
Ah!
That was
No.
weird. That was weird. All right. So yeah, where you're digging will be in the middle of the roadway, but nobody's using the roadway immediately. And if you put out markers, you might be able to divert the traffic around that spot. But
Yeah.
there aren't any at this point. There haven't been any passers-by watching you or anything.
Okay, we will do that. I can do it because Cord can probably help him dig.
Well, with cords help in a little bit of a scrape along with the edge of his blade or something. He can find the edges pretty quickly and draw true lines pretty quick in the dirt.
Yeah.
So between the three of you, you're able to excavate a lot of it. As you're doing so, you can hear the plinking melody of somebody. Um, Performers will often do this. They'll play a part of a song and then switch up and tune the instrument a little bit and then play something else. What instrument have we decided that you're playing, bard person?
Bard person.
Yes.
My instrument?
Yeah.
I play the voce.
Ah, just a singer. So he sings a few.
I might have a lute, I guess. No, a teorbo,
There we go.
a big lute.
The big one. Yeah, the big round thing. So you hear a few plinks on the instrument. Most of it will be vocal, but it's like you're trying to remember the lyrics or whatever, and you sing a few bars and then switch songs. As you're walking along, you come to these people that are apparently excavating, right, including part of the roadway. They seem pretty industrious about it too. It includes a Goliath, um, a red haired a priest of some sort who has her sleeves rolled up and is being kind of industrious with her spellcasting, and a druid who is using Earthshape or whatever the cantrip version is to move the
Move
lands of
Earth,
dirt.
move Earth.
But
She's
Move Earth
gonna have
is
to learn that.
yeah, Move Earth is actually a spell, I think, though not a cantrip. So you only do it once per day.
Oh,
So trying to do it with prestidigitation will take a really long time. So
true. No, she'll have to think of maybe one of her spells where she can uh, facilitate the movement of Earth.
right. So it's really funny. Oh, that won't make any discomfort for you, Kassarak. Miri's actually steadying you as you're doing your work.
Yes, I am.
No stress on you, Kassarak. But you actually got her attention. She's paying attention to what you're doing. Yeah, I can imagine the chuckles, the over the shoulder grin of oh, she's looking at me again.
he gets a little bit nervous, not wanting to make it. He starts being a bit more attentive on the work, not wanting to make a mistake in her presence.
Right. Ironically, that amount of intensity draws her attention even further because she's trying to see how you're doing it and observing you as you're doing
Yeah,
your work. And so
kind of
it's
like a spellcraft check.
exactly.
That that's the one thing I can't do. She says, well, that's one thing I can't do, Caserac, and I'd like to. I can control water and I can control flame, but I haven't yet learned how to control earth or air.
Well, as I was
I
describing, though, you guys do hear the sound of the musical instrument approaching down the roadway.
From perhaps the people who seek for treasure beneath the streets we walk will stop for a moment and listen to me talk.
Mary claps her hands. Well done, Sir Bard. Well done.
Oh, hail and
How,
well met.
how fare you this day?
I fare splendidly, though I can't find where I'm supposed to be.
There is a town ahead, not too far. where they're going to have a festival in a day or so.
You speak of geography, I speak of matters of the heart. I'm setting a terrible presence right now.
This is awesome. No, it's actually awesome.
No, this is great.
You're a level one bard and it's coming across. It's great. No, no, that's great.
Um,
Casarak's actually probably chuckling over under his breath over there because Mary's answer was so blunt. It was like, yeah, oh, you're looking for a place to be. Well, there's a city over there.
town, a place, a temple, a brand new temple to the Rainbow Veil,
Well,
which we
well,
will be going to as soon as we figure out what this place is.
Rainbows are visions, yet only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong. Wait and see.
Nice.
Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
okay, I bet Cataract will kind of stop
Isn't
and just.
that great how I was able to say so much while doing that?
Yes.
Wow.
Quick question.
Yep.
I don't know to our bard friend.
Hmm.
Jubileethan.
Do you believe in miracles?
Yes,
I know I often do.
I didn't know that.
It, 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 it was a simple question, Sir Bard. All right, do you belong to the Jubileethan? Or do you know about them?
A bard knows many things. However, one I am not of them.
So you're not a Jubileethan.
That's what he said.
That's what he
Uh,
said.
I'm not.
I prefer to not repeat the chorus more than once.
You can just talk normally. There's no need to be so formal.
I would
I
if I could, but I can't, so I won't.
is it so you're saying that you are cursed to speak in song, for lack of a less vulgar term, sir?
Curses, blessings.
Vulgar does not meet into it. However, I cannot get into it.
So
I can remove a curse. Mary's eternally helpful.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. And Kasarak is falling on his face laughing.
does your character look like he's been traveling for a while?
Yes. And no. He looks like he cares a lot about his appearance, but he does look well worn.
Well traveled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the shoulder pack and stuff. The clothing would be nice and tidy, but probably wrinkled and dusty from the road.
It's probably nicer clothes on the end of old and hand me down.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Kasarak, by this time you've finished basically framing out the structure. It's 60 feet by 40 feet with the portico on the front that I described. The portico is actually about 4 inches shorter than the actual. This was like a step down from the structure itself, but from its appearance, it looks like it might have been a caravan house because the internal support structure marks are still there, even though the wood's been gone for a really long time.
Okay, so seeing that there is a step down, Kazarek is going to gingerly try to, like, is it just a single step down or does
Yep,
it look?
no, it's just 4 inches shorter than the rest.
He's going to try to examine this, see if this is could be a way down. into the structure itself.
Okay, so it's a circular. By definition, it's a hemisphere of uh, stone or concrete, if you will, and it's uniform. So it is actually a hemisphere. It's not irregular in any fashion. And by digging a little bit further, you find that there are indeed a total of 3 steps down. But those 3 steps that go down, oh, nice picture of a Teorbo. Uh,
Yes.
a Teorbo picture of Traxxas. No, just kidding. Bad pun. Bad pun.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know. It's not a. Well,
That's
okay.
why I said it
Not
was a
the.
pun, Gene, because it really isn't a Teorbo picture. It was just a bad pun. But
You're a terrible person.
I am, and that character is also a Teorbo person because that's a Teorbo.
He
Uh,
kind of looks strange.
different. That's all. He's just different. He's from another
It's an art
place.
style because it's a still image of a three-dimensional image of a
Right.
Ah,
three-dimensional figure.
okay.
Um. Anyway, so you do find that there are actually 3 steps down, each one of them exactly 4 inches, so they're relatively shallow, and they are right at 9.5 inches in step depth. So it's just almost like the landing of the building. So you would actually walk up onto this landing before you actually entered the structure. Not
Okay.
not dissimilar to like the ticket area in front of the theater.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can't use this to get down into the structure. It's just like the entrance
This
way.
this more than likely was the entranceway that took you up and into the building. So you've dug down deep enough to indicate how long this has been here and how much dirt must have buried over this thing. Therefore, giving you an idea of how long ago this must have happened. You're looking at 2 or 3 thousand years of debris and dirt that have covered this place.
Kazarek is gonna just look at Miri. I think we're gonna need more druids to excavate this if we really want to excavate it because
However, it does mean that what we might be looking for is buried this deep. I don't.
quite possibly.
Yeah, considering that this is by a road or in the road, and there might have been an old road here that over time everything got built up and the road kept on going because that's the path everybody knew. But it is interesting to find it here. It just tells of the time before. Yeah, and you're
Well,
right. Perhaps some druids can be brought here to uh, at least excavate it and find out about it. There
Well,
might be
and it
people.
wouldn't have to be druids. Druids could lead the expedition, but it could just be commoners. All you're looking for is somebody that can dig.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so now they have this is a totally inside joke. So now it's the terrain has to be broken into 4 foot by 4 foot sections, and you have to level it.
Yeah. Archaeology 101. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way you say that. Yeah.
that's gonna take a while.
Okay, Cord,
Well,
this is not suiting your purpose at all. You're not getting any closer to your objective. As you usually about this time get a little antsy, so I'm looking for what you think the next step should be, just simply because you're like not getting what you want from this.
Oh no, I just came back from fixing my Ethernet cable.
Oh, okay. So having gone into the arcane world of electronics, Cord comes back and has to lay down that high intelligence that was required and go back to being a tenant fighter. Damn it!
That is
Oh,
natural.
where are you going? And what are you doing? No
She's
knowing,
still
no
cursed.
knowing what brings me. I'm Traxxas.
Uh,
Nice to meet you, Traxxas.
Trex.
where are we going? Up the road?
When you do that, Kasrak, you want to introduce yourself too, because you haven't given him your
I
name.
am Kazarek, a humble servant of the Green Mail, at least at this time.
Wow. My faith is already shattered because Miri is looking to another.
His alliances are fickle as the green in the spring.
You just dissed your whole veil. I am Cord, Apex being on Nycos.
Ooh.
Apex what?
Being entity.
See, now we're starting to develop the part of it that might get him to catch the attention of other gods. When you go around saying you are the apex, there's maybe other gods out there go, oh yeah.
Oh boy. I don't know that. I'm a 10-inch fighter.
I know.
He's
you're
the
fine.
cream of the crop and he don't know when to stop. He's gonna be getting attention.
Never eat a pig, because a pig is a cop.
Huh?
Wow.
I referenced that song. You're welcome.
If you ate a pig, it might be considered cannibalism.
Oof. Okay.
Because you are one.
You know, I hope you don't plan on bringing home the bacon anytime soon.
Why would I bring you home to mother?
Well, your mother has been seeing me recently, so that's one reason.
Cord, you're ready to go, right?
You try, and you keep trying.
I just succeeded just then.
According to whom?
It's right there. According to
Yeah.
me.
The laughs in the room would say otherwise.
What's a weird thing to bring up, but okay.
The
At
lass,
this point, Kazarek is gonna.
the lasses around him are totally safe.
You know, I thought this would be really hard, but I can't think about what I'm saying,
Without
but it's
singing it.
coming out, and I'm okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's.
All right. So,
Fun.
but anyway, they're digging in the dirt, and there's nothing here that yet has said that has screamed. Rondar is here. What would I'm looking for a direction from our leader, Cord. What would you want to do?
Oh.
Because you could with your command structure already in place, you could send some of your guys back to town to enlist some commoners to excavate this place right now if you wanted.
We have people with us.
What's that?
We have people with us.
It doesn't matter where you go now, Cord. You're a little bit known in this whole area, right? Because
We're in Eldrasar. It's pretty far away from the Mornglade.
We're not so far from Mornglade if you look at the map. Eldrasar and Mornglade are adjacent.
Just a couple 100 miles away.
Yeah, word travels.
All right.
And it's been a couple of months since you built the road, so people are aware of the road. So.
I don't know if you can tell. I'm really used to following.
Yes. You don't like being in the front. I get it.
I don't know how to do it.
Okay. So here's the first step on how to do it. Oh, actually, that you're right. I totally get you. So Theo has been along with you this whole time, and he's noticed this and says, dude, can I help?
What do you mean?
Well, you're a king, right?
Well, I just got roasted over the fires by a bard who just randomly came up. So, I mean, in letter, yes, I'm a king, but
so
every king must have a jester.
Oh, be quiet.
No,
yes.
Actually, Theo goes. No, that's he's actually got a point. The whole point is that you're the king, right? So you could order him clapped in irons, right?
Why would I want that?
To shut him up.
I mean, everyone has free speech, right? Even annoying people.
Why? Why do people have free speech? Who gave them that right?
I did.
Okay.
When?
So just make sure he's aware that you gave him the right.
Oh.
He gave me the right to sling my spite.
And if he doesn't shut up, you might give him a smite. See, we both can do this.
I don't like this guy.
Uh,
You've been talking to Theo. Yeah, Theo is he's pretty power hungry. That's why I
Uh,
keep him around.
well, ask Traxxas exactly how much money he makes with his Theorbo so far, or that guitar, that oversized guitar, I should say. Because I
the
probably wouldn't
loot.
even know. I wouldn't even necessarily know what a Theorbo is. I have to be educated.
Oh, okay. Uh,
And I'm just saying I don't. You can let others lead if you want, but your rank and your title and being the apex being means you kind of have to be the boss.
I'm not necessarily okay. Whatever.
Well, no. How would it be otherwise? You're going to be somebody else's hammer?
I mean, it's really easy to be honest, being someone else's hammer.
Well, it's got less responsibility.
Right.
But think of the amount of
Correct.
glory and power when you're wielding it.
All right. Okay. I'll give an order. Let's see what you think. Here we go. um. Um. I'm gonna point eastward, farther into Eldrasar. We're going to walk that way until we find something important to me, and then we'll stop and investigate it. If you have any side quests that you find, please notify me so that we can address them.
What about repel?
Theo claps. Says, "What do you think, Kassarak?"
Cataract is gonna kind of cock his eye at the big guy hesitantly and kind of be like, that could cord. How are we supposed to know what we're looking for? Because only you know what's important to you.
A quest is the best as long as you ignore the rest.
Huh?
He's agreeing with
Okay.
you. See?
Quest is best as long as you ignore the rest. I mean,
Um,
Stay focused. Remember the keyword focus, Miri said?
okay, all right.
A herring is delicious as long as it's not red.
but
Just don't.
and
Take it at face value. At face value.
and
Hey, as a face is the bard's moneymaker. At face value, we shall take it because that's the highest value.
Woo!
Thank you. My face is very pretty.
All right.
And so were your words.
So
Oh,
Theo's going. Well, you said east. We going east? Let's go east.
What
hold up. Yes, I confirm. We're going east.
Cord,
What?
remember the town that's up the road where we kind of promised to stop? But I was thinking they might know more about the battle, the last battle that Rondar fought,
Right,
and
the
give us
Worldbreaker battle.
better direction. And it's to the east, so we're on the right track.
All right, let's go to the village.
Be
Or
it east or west, I'm hungry, let's have a feast.
Yes. Yes. All right. So you're headed eastward. You've got that. You've left the markings on the ground, so you'll know where the excavation is. Should you want to come back to it, and when you as you're approaching the small town, the temple is constructed and standing atop it with its wings raised in a blaze of brilliance and audacity is the angelic form of a faceless version of Ralgrim
well,
or the Prismus.
what is the statue made of?
The statue apparently is made of something like a mother of pearl, so it reflects multiple colors without any serious banding. But the each of the specific feathers of the wings of the creature are different shades and such, so that the colors are more represented more clearly. And then
the
finally,
rainbow.
along the upper edge of the wings, if you will, the shoulders and spine of the wings, so to speak, are shining silver, as is the helmet that covers the veiled face.
Oh, okay. When you said faceless, I thought it was just faced in some form.
No.
It just has a veil over its
All
face.
of them put on veils
Yeah.
when they were in the when they were in the inner sanctum of
Well,
the.
they all came in with it. Only one of them didn't, and that was
Yeah.
Prismus. And as he finished his quote ascension protocol, he pulled down the veil.
Okay.
Okay, so based on your in meta, I thought it was debate. So Kazarak's first reaction was to try and mend it, but since it's actually just his new veil, he's gonna be like,
She does ask someone, is the statue named? I mean, does
Well,
it bear
it
any?
is indicative of Prismus, the first of veils.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Prismus, the last of the veils, I should say.
Yeah. Um, I would like to stop at this temple just for a bit,
Well, yeah, it
but then
hasn't. Yeah, the actual consecration ceremony will be this coming first day.
I should. Then I'm going to find out who's involved in it. Would like to take part in it.
Well, of course, of course. And who might you be?
I'm Mary Elwyn.
As soon as you say that, the fires of conversation start. I mean, from that very first person who's kind of taken aback by it and almost stumbles over himself. I mean, he like almost runs away from you at first, and then
What?
gathers
What?
his will up and whispers something to somebody off to the side, who then takes off running in his stead. He goes, "Oh, my goodness, my lady! I am so sorry. We were not prepared for your eminence. We did not expect you to be here. And oh, that means." And he just falls flat on his face in front of Cord, just abases himself.
She reaches out and gives him a hand to help him up.
You try to help him up, but he waves you off because he's waiting for the word of Cord, the very king that they've been hoping for.
Oh, stop groveling.
Oh,
I'm just here.
okay. He steps up, but as he stands up, he's looking away from you. Matter of fact, he's looking anywhere but at you.
You feeling okay, buddy?
Yes, my lord. Why do you ask?
Um, is my appearance frightening? Frightening?
No, my lord. I'm simply averting my eyes, as would be just in this case, as you are not worthy to be looked. That I am not worthy to look upon thee.
Dang, it's really cool down here in Algisar. I like this tone. Right then, carry on.
Yes, my lord. And he falls back to his knees. And he crawls away from you backwards on his knees.
Cord.
Get used to this.
That's. Oh, Cord. That's awful.
As soon as he gets about 60 feet away, he'll stand up and scurry away. And as he runs away, you can hear him shouting, "The master has come! The Lord has come! The king is here!"
I mean, I didn't ask for it. If they wanted to give it to me, who am I to deny them?
Cord. People have dignity. I know you deserve respect, but that's. Oh,
Hey,
I
man,
don't.
What
if
they
you want to stop them,
say of
you
power.
fine. Huh? I didn't catch that one.
What they say of power is true.
Which is
The power, it's you. No, that's right. It's Theo's humming. Um,
Hey, I'm hungry for pie. Is there a Quirky's nearby?
there is a structure being built alongside the road that has a very distinctive cobblestone style chimney that's being first constructed, and there's probably a sign that says in the corner of Quirky's coming soon. But there are a few pie salesmen down the street, and the local community does have several different ways of commerce. So there's a local inn as well as a
I think we
feast
should
hall,
stop
and
and eat. It's been a long time since breakfast. And
agreed.
as you approach any of them, you'll hear just the rattle of plates and crash of glasses as they're stripping the place down and changing it and preparing it for someone like you guys to come in, and they're all showing their obeisance to the great King Cord. uh, uh, lowering their foreheads almost to their knee as he approaches.
Let's break this fast. I'm falling on my ass.
So the platter is set up, and the biggest thing is right in the middle is a huge, monstrous soup bowl.
They
Word
know.
around here spreads like wildfire. Hey, is anyone here in charge that we could
Uh,
speak to?
you are my liege.
I just
I mean,
kind
like, in charge, like
Owns.
stuff.
A guy comes from the back. He's rotund. His clothes are a little bit dirty, but and he's taken his hat off and he's holding a hat and kind of fumbling with it a little bit. He says, "I am the chief cook and bottle washer, sir."
Do you have any sort of like regent or anything like that?
No, what was that, sir?
You have any kind of regent or maybe
Regent.
ruler,
Regent.
something like
Ruler.
that?
Regent.
Well,
Regent.
well,
Yes, regent.
the hands of Alma are the protectors of justice. That's the closest we have to any kind of regent. Mama Roja passed from our number long, long ago, and so we have maintained our faith by following the edicts of the hands of Omaria.
I'll
Okay.
be right back.
All right.
I see Travis. I see Traxxas is grabbing the back of his trousers and running for the
Who protects you?
protects.
I
We have had nothing from which to be protected, my lord.
That must be nice.
Well, we did. We seem to have had at some point a difficulty with our closest friends now at some point in the past, but we can't even actually recollect why. And so no, there's nothing to be afraid of here.
Of course. Don't you have a specific question you need to ask? Like, does
Right.
anybody know maybe where the tomb of
What's the deal
Rondar?
with Rondar? I'll ask the cook.
The deal with Rondar? I wouldn't know, sir. Rondar's a name I've only heard of in myth and legend from long ago, and it's only a misty cloud to me now.
Um, do you have any? Can you tell me about these legends?
Well, he was the first knight of the Knights of Trantor,
Uh huh.
and he after after the fall of Trantor, he took over as king of the realm of Eldrasar, and actually, in particular, of the kingdom section known as Gilder became his home.
All right.
And he did ultimately go to war with Florin long ago.
Um, one moment. I need to go get my scribe.
Sure.
Uh, while he runs and gets Theo, Mary asks, do you know anything about where his tomb may lie?
Tomb?
Rondar's tomb. Grave.
Oh, uh, no. There are facilities that were representative of his time that still remain. There is the bastion of Phalos, which is up the road a ways. It's the edge of what was the Gilder frontier.
Okay. Anyway, it's a pleasure to be here. I understand the temple's going to be consecrated tomorrow.
Yes, yes, but it now will that will only pale to the reality that you were here, milady.
I
that's
was.
right, Chuckles.
Thanks a lot. I I am but a simple cleric to Veritas and to the Rainbow Veil. I
You speak in untruths, milady. You are instrumental in the rise of the faith itself.
it is truly it was his dream, and I agreed that it was probably
Whose dream?
Primus, Prismata,
Well, you have a
Prim,
hell of a time with names, don't you, Chief?
Prisma, Pris, Pris,
Christmas. Prismus.
Prismus. I'm sorry. I keep on wanting to say something else. Prismus. It,
Mm,
he saw that Nycos will be stronger if we are one.
yes, all 11 of us.
Yes, all 11.
Okay, that's where I get kind of perk up at that because he at least suspects that there are only 9 veils to his knowledge.
Wait, he said 11?
Yes.
Isn't it? Wait a moment. There's a 6 of indigo, the blah, blah, blah. There's 10. Who's the 11th? She looks at him. What do you mean 11th?
Priest of the 9 veils. 9 veils means everyone ignores one. The
Oh,
prismatic
so the,
order demands that all 10 are recognized. If all 10 are recognized, then
then
the
there's 11
prismus is the
because,
11th. Yes, you should know
okay, you're right.
as
There's
a
10.
priestess of the veils, you should know this.
Okay, I just, I just suddenly I was doing 6 colors and there's 7 colors and three neutrals,
Yes.
white, black, and gray. Okay,
Yes.
I just lost track because I was thinking spectrum 6 colors. I forgot the extra color indigo.
Yes, Gene.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So
No, that was an indication of what we've had happen in the past, and so maybe if you realize that's what's going on, that's actually I think what's happening in most cases is that you're remembering a fact that is older than the
yeah,
current established reality.
the current
Not
established
not that
reality.
Nycos shifts fast or anything like that. Not that
No,
the reality becomes different every week or anything.
no, about once a month
So
or less.
the cook does ask Cord to give the soup a taste and let me know what I'm missing or what they need to add to it to make it perfect for him.
I'm not feeling hungry right now.
Oh,
You guys haven't
cord.
eaten in a day.
She kind of cord. He would
Hmm?
be mightily hurt if you did not at least taste his soup. She says in a very tiny voice,
Hmm?
"Eat some."
But of course, it is your
Okay.
choice, my lord, says the chef.
Um.
She sends a message, "Eat some."
Okay. I'm gonna dip the ladle into the soup and try some.
Mm-hmm. Roll percentage dice for me.
Oh darn it. Um. Okay.
Had to dig out your dice so you can roll percents.
The program 80. I got an 80.
Okay, so it's really pretty good. It may not have been the best ever, but it's definitely pretty good.
It's
It's
up there.
it's perfect, and I will take another ladle full to cement that.
Oh, he's pleased as punch. He sends his people scampering back out. The different workers from his kitchen crew. Anything else I can do for you, my lord? Any particular meats you would like to go with your soup this evening?
Um. Uh. Uh. The soup's fine by itself.
Ah,
Um.
that does serve me a high honor. Thank you, my lord.
Uh-huh. And any time.
About
Do you
this
have?
about this time
Sorry.
about this time a towering figure, towering only from the standpoint of everybody else in the room, but you, Cord, comes walking in. He's wearing a leather apron, metal bracers. He has a helmet that looks like he probably hasn't worn in 6 months, so it's kind of tightly fitting on his head, and dark, bushy eyebrows peer out from behind the helm's visor, and you hear a voice say, "You boy, I'm calling you out." And he points at you.
Hello, hail and well met.
Hell with that, son. You come into my town, start ordering people around, causing all kinds of trouble. I calling you out, boy. We're gonna tussle in the street.
No, we're not.
Excuse me?
You heard what I said.
What's the matter? Chicken?
I eat that stuff. And you are what you eat, so I guess if you believe that misnomer, then yes, I am chicken.
He slaps his thigh and says, I figured you for a coward. Good to see it. Now, I ask you to get out of town before sunrise or I'll have to beat your ass.
No.
um,
Castrack,
Kenny
get him.
slaps-
what?
You heard me.
Okay, Jim.
What you doing, Kasarak?
Catherine is going
You've been ordered by your king to, quote, get him to what obviously is the town bully.
Tickle him, Castrack. Do it.
Barry, stand up. Is it Tesseract? Don't worry about it.
Tickle him, Castrack.
Sure. How about having some soup with us? And you can tell us your tale of why
Sit
you
down,
think.
redhead. I'll deal with you when I get a chance a little bit later. I gotta handle.
Okay, after that he gets a thorn whip.
What you doing, Kasarak?
Tickle him.
He's getting a thorn whip in the face for his insult to
Yes, a thorn
Sorry,
whip to
Yuri.
the face. Roll to hit.
And that would be a 19.
Wow! Not only did you hit him, you managed to not knock the stack of plates out of the hands of one of the cooks who happened to be walking by. I was going to use that as a, if you rolled a miss, that you actually got caught up in the cooking staff, but you didn't. You actually nailed him good. Go ahead and roll the damage.
And that would be 5 points.
Nice. Not only that, you have a chance to drag him forward, right? So I have to make a dex save, or is it a con save?
Yep. Dex.
Oh no, big bully like this. I don't know. There it is, and roll. Ooh, he makes a 19 and holds his ground. He's going to attempt a reaction check to try to grab the whip. I know it's magical, so it's going to hurt him. So he does. Go ahead and roll an extra D4 of damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep eating my soup.
Yep, you're busy eating soup as Kasarak's going to get his his face pasted here in a second. How much damage did you do?
An extra 1.
That's okay. So he basically cuts himself on one of the thorns as he pulls you in, and now he's going to biff you in the face, or try to.
Whoa, hold up.
But
Thorn whip comes out of the ground.
what's that?
Thorn whip's attached to the ground,
Um,
isn't it?
I always thought it came from the hand. But
Yeah, I thought it came from the
somehow-
hand too. It's a mystical outreach. Either which way, even if it did, this guy just for the theatrics of it, let's say it does go through the ground, it still comes from the magic brought into play by the druid. So he actually pulls it so hard it pulls the roots out of the thorn out of the ground all the way back to the magic that spawned it, which would be pulling Kasarak towards him. But he rolls a horrible 6, so you just stumble forward a little bit. You get to make a dex save to avoid that too.
Okay. And that would be a 21.
Oh, geez. So yeah, you don't even you don't even get tugged at all.
I'm gonna stand up. You weren't supposed to fight back.
Me?
You were supposed to go down round 1.
Well, this little punk you set at me is the one who's going to go down.
No, he's not.
Roll initiative, Kasarak.
Okay.
I'm gonna step over the table and move in front of Kasarak.
If you beat him on initiative, I'll agree.
Okay.
And that would be an 18.
There you go. You got your cut out for you.
That's a nat 20.
Okay. So you leap across the room instead to come face to face with the bully.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm a McClintock, and McClintocks have run this town for as long as I can remember. I don't know who the H you think you are, fat
Can you
boy.
tell me where what's his face is?
Rondard,
Rondar, yes. Can you tell me where he is?
He looks at you and goes, what?
Yeah, can you tell me where Rondar? I asked for a leader, and if you're a leader, can you tell me where Rondar is?
He tries to punch you.
Okay.
Shut up, he says, and tries to punch you. I rolled a 15 plus 4. Is it 19?
That won't hit, but I'm having dinner, so my armor's off. So yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so he still hits your beefy slab of a being. I know you got automatic damage abrogation anyway, so the big damage he does is a total of 3 points, which of course you just kind of shrug and it goes away. So
Can you just tell me where um uh
Rondar's
Rondar
trade is.
is, please?
I don't know who the hell you're talking about. He swings again, which of course does him no good. Again,
Can you tell me where Rondar is, please?
I don't know.
Okay, then why are you hitting me?
You get the hell out of my town.
I will. Just point me in the direction of Rondar. Oh my gosh.
Kathrak is dumb.
I'm
Cannot
not
fight right
leaving
now.
until after the ceremony tomorrow.
Okay. Well, he's not worried about you, I don't think. Come on, man. Rondar is you got flags of him everywhere.
Okay, he stops. He's winded now. He's actually done more damage to himself through fatigue and that thorn whip than anything. And he's got his hands on his knees and he's huffing and puffing and says, look, I don't know who you're looking for. I don't know this Rondar guy. He says, that banner's been around for a long time. It's been used by armies from both sides. The Blinn even used it during the old days. So I don't know what to tell you, but as far as that's concerned. But you're messing up my situation here, dude. You're hurting my business.
What's your business?
Well, I could say you call it graft and license.
Oh,
That has to stop, Mary says.
all right. Well, the green one is spoken.
Indeed. And Kathrak is going to, despite Mary's protest, just kind of twiddle another thorn whip around his, well, out from his finger, but not actually use it. Like, he's trying to threaten this guy even more. This is not, but he's not actually going to use it unless McClintock actually makes a, like, really threatening move. This is just...
No, you've done the job to humiliate him. So as he's walking out, everybody's kind of watching in stunned silence, and as soon as he kind of basically crawls away, you'll hear smatters of applause from the people in the restaurant.
Yeah, that's right. Get lost. Ruining my soup. Good job, Casserac.
Indeed, Tesseract. Indeed.
Us level 21s attract some dangerous enemies.
I don't think that guy was that dangerous.
I
Now,
think
maybe...
Mary
he was
rolled
holding back.
her eyes at your statement.
Listen,
Cord.
when the bard gets back, I'll tell him he was 20 foot tall and had arms the size of tree trunks.
How did he
Casserac,
get
you don't
in
have
here?
to listen to me. I just want you to let you know. None of you have to listen to me. And I'll point at the whole tavern.
Yes, my lord, they all say. We will hear every word you say and not pay attention to it.
Alright, okay. If I tell you to attack Unit 1 with Casserac, you can tell me to go stick it in my ear.
Whom are we attacking, sir?
No.
I don't know who this no is, but he's dead. We're gonna kill him.
Kathrak is going to casually walk away and
Cord.
let Cord deal with this.
Cord, be
because
careful of your words.
Well,
They're hanging on every one of them.
Yes, they are.
So just tell them to be at peace. You're here to enjoy your meal.
can anyone tell me where Rondar is? General question for all of you.
It's not where he is, it's where he might be because he is
They all
dead.
Everyone,
point.
tell me about
They all point generally in the direction of due north.
north. All right. Can anyone tell me about Rondar?
Any
Mm,
stories or anybody who might have stories of him?
Right.
there are tales in the libraries, perhaps, but not. Remember, common vernacular for the last 1,200 years, there hasn't been anything. Although now the libraries have it, we're not familiar with it.
Then we will
Ah,
stop at the library. I, if this is information you want, it's well worth researching and looking for.
All right. I will go to the library then.
Well,
Depart.
you'd have to go back to Eldrasar for a library. There's not one out in a small town like this.
I can step you there.
All right. I'll research while you guys do the feast thing.
Why? The
Okay,
feast is in your names, King.
Um. Yes, I don't want you guys to be held up by my royal presence. I want you guys to enjoy yourself in my name. It's my wish.
Theo pulls your sleeve, looks up at you.
What? Uh huh.
What am I? Chopped liver?
What?
What am I? Chopped liver?
Oh, okay. Right. Yes. Okay. Sure, Theo. Go
You
research.
you 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 do the leader thing. I'll do the book thing. You don't have to go digging in libraries. It's beneath your station.
shall I take you?
All of a sudden.
What do you mean all of a sudden? Yeah, it was 24 hours ago when a miraculous wish changed the world. Remember?
Uh, Patch 1 dot
Exactly.
7
Exactly.
to 2020.
You got it.
All
Uh,
right.
Reboot, and all of a sudden you're king. It's like, wow, I wasn't here for that update.
Theo, can I help you there? And I can take you back later.
I prefer if you and I come to parity. So you need to show me how to step.
Okay, come on. I'll give.
I'll accept the banner of the green veil if you'll teach me how to step.
Okay.
That way you won't be interfered with either because I believe you have something pressing you need to be talking to Cord about here pretty soon anyway, don't you?
Yeah,
Yes.
I do.
Huh? Oh, okay.
I have
Later.
questions.
Theo gives a knowing look, puts his finger to the side of his nose, and
Come outside and I'll
yep,
teach you.
fine.
Okay.
Then
I
Mary comes walking back in.
Cord, I'm not going to be staying with you.
Okay.
This is going to be your hunt for your ascension. I'm going to go fulfill those parts of my life that I wish to
Oh,
fulfill.
good for you, Mary.
And I don't know if I'll be around much, quite honestly, because I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. So I will, I hope occasionally to be able to touch back bases with you because you and I have been on the trail the longest, and
I'm back.
I I think of you as a younger brother, one I never had, and regardless of our differences in shape, in appearance, and manner, you hold
Right.
that place in my heart.
It's
So
nice, Mary.
I will stay here for the ceremony tomorrow, and then I am leaving to go back first to Elwendale, and then from there I do not know.
And I keep Kasarak. I like him.
BP, BP for the way you said that. That was awesome. Yes, you're leaving.
Catherine,
It's horribly sad. Yes, thank you. Can I keep Kazarak?
Passerat?
Catherine is looking at Mary with a look that says, and
Passer-
clearly giving
It's up
her.
to you. It's up to you. If you want to go back to the Vale, I'll take you back to the Vale. But I think maybe you will have a chance to grow faster here with Cord and the Bard than you will with back at the Vale.
Mm,
Totally up to you.
you
100%.
can. Kazarak will give like the most exasperated, long, deep sigh and say, I, I think the veil has taught me what it can at this point. Perhaps there is more to learn later on, but maybe I will stay with Cord. Although I am greatly saddened by her leaving. And he gives her, once again, totally playful and totally unserious, but saddest puppy dog look he can get.
Nice. Nice.
I hate you.
Hey,
She understands. She does know that you had a crush on her. She does know. She's just been trying to play it down.
and I have to say, Gene, for the number of times you've played, we have come to know that phrase is your most endearing term you can ever lay on anybody. Because when you say "I hate you," we know you mean the opposite. So
Yeah, you're playing on her heartstrings, okay?
yes, he did. He did like a
Yes, he did.
virtuoso, like a virtuoso, now identifiable by a virtuoso who can actually see this scene play out as the uncomfortable.
Farewell, my dear, I must be gone and leave you for a while. Though I roam away, I'll come back again. Though I roam 10,000 miles, my dear, though I roam 10,000 miles.
And I can see poor Cassart go 10,000 miles. Oh my God, that's a long way.
I
I
will.
He is not doing that, but clearly giving her the most.
yeah,
So anyway, what she's going to do tonight is to write down
all the
the
details for the history.
Yeah.
yeah for the history,
Gotcha. So
and then yeah pull out from her journal
you can put it.
things
You
that
can put it either in the
yeah.
Dawn Guard folder
Okay,
or get it to Scott directly.
okay,
Probably best if you put it in the Dawn Guard folder so everybody can get to it in case he can't get it all translated right away.
all right.
All right.
That's the best place to do it.
Yeah.
That's the best place.
All right.
And the first thing she covers is the maiden because that's the
Yep.
maiden's journey is soon over.
Yeah, we'll just have you doing that. I also want to take a moment at this point and thank our viewers. We have at this point one person now, but we had two people earlier. Thank you for viewing our show and being a part of it. We're going to continue. I just wanted to draw that attention and thank you for your participation. And that you can get to be a member, just contact us and we'll get you set up for our Discord as well. So thanks. All right, back to our action. So the
Oh,
bar.
I was gonna do the jingle.
Oh, do the jingle,
never mind.
please.
No, it's fine. It's
I
fine.
want to hear the jingle. I'm looking for the jingle. I've been waiting for the jingle.
Welcome to Nycos, not your clunky old system. NYCOS.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Oh.
Well done. That was
Actually, I would put
totally improvisational, or did you already have that already written down? That's awesome.
No, improv.
That's good stuff. Good stuff.
I would have put Nycos before I
He did say, "Welcome to Nycos, not your clunky old system," and then he spelled it. So
oh
he did it right. He did it the way I would have done it. So thanks.
oh
But that's
wait, how come that this chord all of a sudden went up to the top and and tracks just went down to the bottom?
because Travis had logged out and logged back in.
Ah,
It rotates you based on that.
okay.
Yes.
So yeah,
Alrighty.
that
So the meal goes well. You've made friends by driving the McClintocks out, or at least for the day. You may have caused them trouble in the long term, but that's what other adventures are for.
Hmm.
They bring basically whole mutton and you know just lots and lots of food, incredible amounts of well prepared foods from the different areas in the
We
nearby
thank you
community.
for this mutton, so I can be a glutton.
Indeed. Alrighty. So, um,
Mary claps when you have a particularly good jingle.
riff.
Yeah.
Yes. And so as you're feasting, the cook says, "Yeah, I got a message from this lady starting this other restaurant down the road, and you guys know Quirky's much?"
I do. In fact, I do.
I don't. What's Quirky's?
It's the place for pies. Is there quirkies nearby?
Is it a local chain or something like that? We don't have those in Morglade.
Oh no, there's actually one. There's one they're going to be building in Florin pretty soon. So
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, the traders came up through after um, the first wave of the was it the Barovite incursion. The first wave of refugees from that are just now landing on the coasts up north, driven out by the Barovites, who have laid claim to now about a third of the country of Barovia and are actually closing in on the borders of Neo Moria's frontier.
I have another jingle.
Indeed.
It's the pie sensation that's sweeping the iteration.
Everybody claps. Yay.
Well, perhaps if she can bring a selection of pies and she gives them a silver, is
Uh-huh.
that enough for several pies?
Oh, of
Uh,
course. Of course.
Bring enough for the inn.
Well,
And if that is,
the full restaurant won't be up for another couple of weeks. You know, there was
oh,
the problems with the social distancing and stuff caused the actual building structure to take a little bit longer to create. But yeah, we're about to finish it.
social distancing?
Never mind, Gene. It was a bad localized joke.
Okay.
Localized for your human consumption.
Well, maybe she has a few pies we can sample. Uh,
I would say that was another joke, but those aren't allowed.
Yeah, there aren't any more other jokes. We can't do other jokes anymore.
no, it can't do other jokes. There are no others.
Yes.
Oh no!
Oh
All we have left is puns,
no!
because they're the only natural ones in Nycos.
Well, those in classic wordplays. Classic wordplays are still roaming free. That's my favorite kind, the free roaming wordplay.
Yeah.
She,
Emphasis on free and,
like
and the
like like
realm.
like the time they poured water all over Casarac and made the Casarac cataract.
That never happened.
oh,
Splash! It
sure.
does now.
When you were an acolyte, I am sure, or a young druid student, I'm sure that somebody did create water over
Well,
you.
yeah. Remember the lesson in the Green Veil where they have you get undressed and you put your feet in a big giant pot and then you pretend to be a tree for a day? Yeah, that one.
Um, he kind of will
and,
semi
and, and, and,
glare.
and that's half of how they build a banana hammock. But boom. No,
Oh, it's in meta because I wasn't singing.
that's true.
Yeah. Now you don't have to be angry, Casarac. It was all in meta.
Well,
Okay.
came up with an explanation. Travis will get appreciation out of this. One of my favorite speakers of all time was Will Rogers, and Will Rogers once said, uh, I never met a man I didn't like, and so I can now say I never met a game. I never like a game I didn't meta. There we go.
Ha ha ha.
um, there's something that Mary wants to make for Cord before he goes.
Okay.
Okay, it's a surprise
Is
Okay.
it a chord?
for
Huh?
Cord.
Is it an accord?
No, it
What?
isn't an accord.
Is it a
It's
chord's progression?
Um, that's your thing. Uh, it's actually just a length of nylon cord.
The nylons.
my.
That's a whole different thing.
It's called Nycosian cord.
Is there any other kind?
Nycosian cord. Yes. No, there's no other kind
Could be a Ford Accord.
of Ford
And
Accord.
if it wins a trophy, then it would be a Ford Accord Award.
A port chorus?
It's getting worse instead of better.
Google cord names.
Hey, no. With that new weapon he's got, it's the Cord Sword Ford Accord Award.
God.
Oh, it hurts.
You know at any time, Cord, you can stop this. You are a king.
Enough, says the king.
Exactly. Slams his fist
Oh.
on the restaurant on the tabletop.
Don't. She grabs the soup bowl.
I'm never gonna get used to it.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You'll
Yes, you will.
you either become so acclimated to it that you just simply shut everybody up all the time, or you get so you like it so much that you won't care anymore, and instead you'll be trying to do business at state while it's happening. So,
Or it'll get patched out in the next update.
Certainly hope so.
wow, you're hoping this gets patched out? Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Cord is king and having to figure out how he's going to rule. This is going to be great.
How's he going to become a god king, though?
That is a matter.
He'll learn to play that casino game called Pharaoh.
All right. Let me think here. Or Tenno.
Yes.
God, can't speak.
Yep, you could go for the Tenno.
What about the game of
Game of what?
Ur.
I've got no idea what that is.
It's the
Game.
oldest game.
Game over. Game over.
Ah,
That works too. But the Royal Game of is the oldest known game.
Yep. They don't even know how it's played yet. They've got all the pieces. I've seen it.
Oh, they're pretty sure now. At least one guy seems to have figured it out. I watched a video.
Okay.
Oh.
So, you feast well into the evening. You've had all you could possibly eat. They actually do try to sneak some politics in, asking you to make a decision between this guy and that guy on a certain land deal, or how to handle a cheating spouse, or
Pardon me, Reviteria. Pardon me, Reviteria. Posing questions that would cross a rabbi's eyes. Higgity da da da, higgity da da da, higgity da da da.
and the bard's catching each moment of your decision. The moments when you're absolutely precise, and those moments where you're kind of vague, playing off of them, making you look that much better, and also oddly that much particularly sillier at the same time.
oh great.
To what do I owe the honor of your presence on my stomach, cat?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the bard. I said, man, he's being forward.
No, the cat just suddenly leaped up
Sorry,
here.
I've
and-
spoken for, young man. Get away.
Yeah. Anyway, Mary does ask for a lamp, and she has paper and pen,
Sure.
and so she's
Sure.
going to be busy.
Alrighty. Kasserek, what are you doing in her absence at the table? Getting used to the idea, I know.
Yeah. Catherine is kind of looking around to see if there's any. After he's eaten, he's gonna kind of walk around town and see if there's any like shrubs or trees that need growing and try to do some druidic stuff to keep his mind from wandering to him.
Yeah.
He is fixating and it's not good.
Well, I can
So
see,
he,
I can see everything goes well. You're out there doing the training or tree trimming and helping with the bushes, and all of a sudden one particular bloom needs to finish the budding process, and as you touch it, it blossoms and it's the same exact color as Miri's eyes, and you're like, oh, shake away,
yeah,
shake away.
yes, he is just trying to keep his mind off of
Right,
places where his mind doesn't want to go right now.
Oh,
right, right.
those wrinkles, just like these pages.
Nice, nice. That was her previous other self. He didn't. Yeah, yeah, but yeah,
Oh, she's fixed now.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, when they bottled up the when they bottled up the blue stuff. Isn't that
Mm.
right, Miri?
What stuff?
That took away the curse.
Yeah. Whatever it was didn't belong here on Nycos. So your wish changed the nature of that substance. Now, I still don't know what it is. I don't
You
care.
don't care because you put it away. But I'm just saying, the curse that was on you was because of the
Blue stuff.
the sphere. No, the sphere.
Oh, the sphere. Actually, the blue stuff took it away
I
first.
know. And then the blue stuff vanished.
Yeah, and then the blue stuff vanished. But then remember, I also put the dragon orb away, so I'm de-attuned.
I know. She's free.
I'm free.
That's why she's pursuing the other ventures and all of that. So anyway, it's morning, the day of your departure.
Well,
Um,
the consecration of
Yep,
the,
the
the
consecration services at dawn. Everybody's invited. Everybody making it?
yes,
Yep.
Cord, did you wake up early enough?
Yeah,
Or did the food
certainly.
torpor-gate you?
I didn't eat much. Sort of just.
Tasted everything.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. But Sire, you had some of that earlier. It's okay, I'm having a little bit more of this. A little bit more of that. A little bit more.
Not sure.
Just like
Not
Dragonia.
sure.
All right, so um, the priest that's doing the service is really kind of nervous. He's um, he's a green veil, and he's trying to speak. He actually quotes pieces from both the first broadcast and the second broadcast, referring to the unity of the faith. Casts his eyes upward at the statue of Prismus and asks for the blessings of the 11 to fall upon everyone in the place. It's obvious
he
that he has
adds
a.
her prayers to it.
I imagine every time someone brings up the 11, everyone pulls out their fingers and starts counting.
Exactly.
Red,
They have to,
yellow,
at the end, they
blue,
kind of have
white.
to shrug and go, yeah, technically it's 11. Yeah.
Yeah, she adds her prayers to his.
And they all
He
Some
get to
must.
bring
the
out.
they all get down to the ninth one, and they kind of go, oh, yeah, okay,
Then they give out and they bring out the little pamphlet with
yeah,
the little.
little cross, the easy to use chart.
Yeah.
Just have to follow the arrowheads and the colors.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got it all figured out.
So the ceremony goes off without a hitch, and the place is now formally consecrated to the prismatic
Rainbow
veils.
Veil.
Yep.
Prismatic Veil. To Prisma. And she just adds her own blessing to Prismus.
Well,
And
when you start to give your prayer, they'll all stop. It's like all of a sudden the structure of the worship feels a little bit more like a what do they call it? Charismatic church. All of a sudden you start talking and the rest of them stop.
oh,
They want to hear your prayer.
and so she gives thanks for his wisdom and insight to see what is best for Nycos. That the idea of the unified veil is probably one of the most important things that has happened in a long time. For we are all one, yet we are different. We are all one because those of us here wish the best for Nycos and for of that all of the life.
And then suddenly the Pentecostal choir kicks up and is like, one world, one veil,
Yeah, exactly.
one Nycos for all of us. One.
People in the back are raising their hands, touching the light, putting their heads down.
And then under her breath, she says, "I'll miss you, Rogram," and then just leaves it at that.
All right, so there's. I imagine about this time also. Oh, because the charismatic band got started. I can hear Teoba at the outside doing the harmonizing and picking up on the critical riffs on the outside as well as people are walking out of the building.
No, no, no. He's there. He's in. He's the one leading. He's wearing the
Nice,
whole. He's got the thing. He's the one that's clapping his hands over his head with like the
nice.
Whoopi Goldberg in the one
Exactly.
movie.
Excellent, excellent. So therefore, there's this big hubbub and noise, and it's a perfect place to make a quick silent segue if you want, or did you want your exit to be much more dramatic, Mary?
Mine? No. She just quietly moves.
So you're gonna walk over to give Kasarek his gift or whatever.
Oh, well, no, cord.
Cord. Give Cord his gift.
Actually, I have something for Casserac.
Okay.
I gave him a ring of ultra shell.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay, that actually does fit.
And to Cord, she gives him a ring and she says, "This is my wish for you." And she just leaves it at that. And what it is a +2 wisdom score.
Ooh,
Goodbye, Mary.
nice.
I hope
It's not
you.
forever, but yeah, goodbye for now.
Yeah.
I hope you get the best because it's what you deserve.
Thank you very much. And then she just kind of walks outside, and then like she's leaving it, and then she just steps in, is gone,
Yep.
and
Just
she's going.
walk along, and all of a sudden she's just simply not there anymore.
He
Poof.
didn't say goodbye.
Kazarek,
That's okay. You're out there leading the choir, so
yeah. Kazarek, obviously next to Cord, just gives like.
oh yeah, there's what it is. As Traxxas has been singing, and he's watching them all leave the building, and he's singing and leading, and he keeps looking over the crowd, trying to see where Miri is. And when he happens to catch Casarek's eye, Casarek's just going to shake his head.
And he keeps crying, but he keeps going because the show must go on.
Yeah. All right, so pick what image you're going to use for character next, Gene, and we'll
Okay.
get you added back in here in a moment.
All right.
Meanwhile, the mechanics of it is that every week or every 2 weeks or whatever, we'll do updates on Miri's life as it's going on for the viewers and for Miri's personal gratification, and so we can all kind of keep tabs on the developing story there. But we're going to turn our attention to getting Cord the rest of the way on his little ascension path. Doesn't it make you feel thrilled, Cord, that we're all going to focus on helping you?
I mean, I like any or most human beings adore attention, but
Right.
just not in this capacity. Okay.
Traxxas starts playing Highway to Heaven.
Nice.
Right. So
Stairway
No,
to
it's Stairway to Heaven, Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
It's a medley. It goes back and forth.
Goes back and forth between the two of them. That's probably truer than you know. The parts where he has to actually make decisions will feel like the highway to hell, and then the moments of elevation and stuff will be the stairway to heaven. Yeah.
all right, Bard dude, Kasarak, are you ready to embark with me on an adventure to find what I want to find?
He'll just Kazarek puts a hand on Cord's like I guess arm because he can't really reach his shoulder because of his
Right.
size.
Right.
Do you have an idea where you want us to start?
No, I don't really. Theo did some research though. Do you have an idea?
Roads go ever, ever on.
Well,
I hear a little Don Bluth coming through there.
Over grass and under sky.
Yes, that's where I was, thought you were going.
In a white ship will I sail.
All right. So,
Such a sad song.
But right now,
uh,
I'm putting that until I find my picture.
Sounds fair enough.
okay. Well,
Look at that orange veil flower. That's lovely.
we'll learn some stuff from Theo when he gets back from the library.
Yes. Theo comes back. He's got a couple of scrolls tucked under an arm, a quill pen tucked behind his ear, smudge of ink on the side of his cheek.
Salute. What'd you find?
Oh, dude, this guy was everywhere. What part of Rondar's world do you want to know?
Um, do they know where he was last seen?
Oh, he's no. I found where his grave is. They buried him at the tomb of the unknowns.
The tomb.
that
Practically
Kazrak will
scrambles for
kind
a
of
book.
scratch his. Wait, he's an elf. He doesn't have facial hair. Never mind.
He doesn't have what?
Facial hair.
You can
Unless,
you can have scruff if you want. I don't care.
yeah.
Besides
So
that,
he'll.
besides that, I imagine a young elf probably still has kind of a odd peach fuzzy kind of texture
Yeah.
to the underside of his chin anyway.
So he'll kind of scratch that. If he was so well known, why would they bury him at a place called the Tomb of the Unknowns?
No, it's the tomb of the unknown. There's singular unknown. The one who saved humanity. Rondar being the first of his, one of the first of the heroes of humanity would naturally be buried there if they could. It looks
Ah,
like according to the book here, it says it was disinterred from its original gravesite and moved to the tomb.
All right. Well, um,
now.
looking for my book.
But that's
You
that's
done?
only one part of
One sec.
the stuff I've got. So what else do you want to know about Rondar? I mean, you asked for stuff, and so I got stuff, and I'm a veritable bookcase of stuff, but I don't want to burden you with all the boring stuff.
Uh,
The king's gone speechless. Come on, Kasric, there's got to be something you want to know about the king, the ancient king.
Tomb of the Unknowns.
Yeah, it's in Mantara. It's west of here, just before you get to World's Edge. Sorry, east. Yeah, west of here, just before you get to World's Edge.
How long was his. Well,
He reigned for
he
20,
was.
he reigned for 23 years.
That seems awfully short for such a well known hero, but.
Well, in that time, he was directly responsible for conquering all of the known lands of the north. There's Segi. Welcome back,
Wow. Cord should really listen to this song.
Well, which one?
It's called The Greatest Adventure.
Segi. Yes.
From,
Yes.
yeah.
Greatest Adventure.
Wow.
All right.
That's really poignant to him.
Yeah. We could probably play it at the end of the episode if that would that be okay with you guys? After the stream, because we can't play during the stream because of copyright and all of that.
I
Sure.
can sing it, and then it's a cover.
There is that, but that's only if
Yeah.
one wants to hear the whole thing.
I mean, you can throw in your own little things, make it a parody.
It doesn't even have to just be his voice.
Um,
It's called a cover. You can get away with that all day long.
Ah, true. I think you can.
So do you
Even-
want do you want to hear because we'll have it that Theo actually sings it. He won't be as good as the bard, but he reminds the bard and the bard remembers it. That's probably the easiest way to do that.
I can YouTube it.
The parts of this story probably are directly from or actually in reverse. Given when Rondar was a king, more than likely it was influenced the other way around. So it's going to be appropriate. So
Here, I'll just do the one verse that's really important.
okay.
The greatest adventure is no. The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Today and tomorrow are yet to be said. The chances, the changes are all yours to make. The mold of your life is in your hands to break. The greatest adventure is there if you're bold. Let go of the moment that life makes you hold. To measure the meaning can make you delay. It's time you stop thinking and wasting the day. The man who's a dreamer and never takes the lead, who thinks of a world that is just make believe, will never know passion, will never know pain. Who sits by the window will one day see rain. The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Today and tomorrow are yet to be said. The chances, the changes are all yours to make. The mold of your life is in your hands to break.
There you go.
Hmm. That was pretty killer.
Yep.
Nice vocals.
Thank you.
So everybody's looking with their eyes forward to Cord.
Uh huh.
You're in charge now.
Great. Well, um, then you guys best be getting your insurance and wills in order. This is going to be a very short adventure.
Um,
such,
um,
such optimism from the most powerful apex being on Nycos.
Well, I'm assured of my own infallibility, but I don't know if my machinations will well suit the level ones around me.
Cord.
What better test of your ability to lead?
All right.
So
All right.
I'm gonna send a message to Cord. I've already died once, so it's no big deal.
Nice,
Hey.
nice. I already died once. No big deal.
So
I'm doing that in message though, so
Yeah.
only he can hear that.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
So who here can cast True Resurrection?
Nobody.
Resurrection?
Nobody.
Revivify.
Heroes live forever, kid, but
Ah,
legends
shit.
never die.
I am. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Theo, do you know the location of the Tomb of the Unknowns?
I do, but I also have, more importantly, the last burial site of the king of Aranar.
Let's try that first.
It's a lot closer.
All right. We make for there immediately. Pack up your things.
Okay.
Oh, where is it?
I've got the map right here. I'm ready to lead you.
All right. Okay. You guys let me know when you're ready.
When there's a whip, psh, there's a way. When there's a whip, psh, there's a way.
Okay.
When there's a whip, we don't want to go to war today, but the Lord of the Lash says nay, nay, nay. We're gonna march all day, all day, all day.
Where there's
When there's a whip, there's a way. Left, right, left, right, left, right.
All right, so everybody gets ready, gets packed up. Theo takes the lead and walks right back down the road and stops at the beginnings of the excavation.
Catherine is just gonna start laughing. Like,
Well, I'm gonna take out old Betsy, my hammer, and poke Kazrak, I guess.
Sure. So with your Maul driving the spikes, he's able to cut out the area around the outside, and you find that the structure, as described, has a portico on the front and has the look of possibly a like a governor's mansion, not so much a mansion, but like a fine estate.
State House.
Yeah, exactly, like a governing place. And after you guys get that excavated, Theo pulls out his tools. Has to dig around for a while to find out which set because his penchant as an NPC hireling is that he has like 7 different skills, and so eventually he finds his architect's tools and starts pacing and measured out so many paces and makes marks on the ground and says, "Okay, this is approximately where we'll find the actual entrance to the tomb."
All right, I'll go over and jump on it.
Okay.
Try and use my weight to break it
Sure.
open.
Sure. After about the third or fourth jump, and they're earth-shattering jumps because you're leaping up and down on the dirt, and you can see the soil is breaking around the edges, and Theo's going, "Sir, make a Constitution save."
Yes, Theo, I will make a dex save.
No, I'm just saying. He's saying, "Just excuse me, sir, sir."
Oh,
And
all
at
right.
that
That's
moment, you're having to make a Constitution save.
As 2 plus 12. It's 14.
Wow, with the 2, you actually break the ground beneath you out. It does fall inward, but you catch yourself because of the fact that the passageway is only as wide as a doorway, and so you catch yourself on your arms. Basically, you're up to your elbows in the hole in the ground.
All right, we've broken in. Anyone want to lead?
So you're going to scrabble back out of the hole. So you've got basically an 18-foot hole that drops down into darkness, and you can see a staircase leading down into the depths. The dust on the stairs, even from here, suggests that no one's been in here in over 100 years.
There's another song I could sing, but I won't. From the same movie.
Azarek is going to kind of slightly shake his head and start making his way down as Cord is unwilling to
Okay,
lead.
it's 18 feet straight drop. Do you have rope or anything, or are you just going to try to free climb the gravel,
All right.
the dirt?
Okay. Actually, you know what? How about I go down first?
Yes, that would probably be a good idea, Marty.
All right. Don't call me that. Call me Cord.
Very
Yes, my
well.
liege. Still call him by his rank. That's so good. Yes, my liege. It's very also makes for a great comedy bit after a while.
We're adventurers here. We're not. We're adventurers.
Yes, my liege.
Of course, my liege.
I'm gonna jump in the hole.
By the way, NPAC, this
NPC.
No, NPAC. He's a local villager who's become enamored of you, the king, and has come to help carry the cargo out, carry the treasure out of the dungeon.
I'm gonna jump in the hole.
Okay, so you don't even say anything to NPAC. NPAC's just watching you jump.
Oh, NPAC's here. Okay. Hail and well met, friend. What am I looking at?
I don't know. What do you look like, NPAC?
Who?
Whiteville.
Steven, NPC.
He's insignificant.
Okay. He says nothing, so you go, oh, must be Whitevale. No big deal.
And then I'll jump in the hole.
Okay. Go ahead and make a Constitution save. If you roll a 1, let me know. Otherwise, you'll be fine.
Roll a 1.
Okay, you've wrenched your ankle. You will be at half movement for the next, say, rest of this day until you get to a long rest.
Ow!
Are you all right, Cord?
The ground is irregular here only because of the gravel and rock that you spewed down onto the staircase, and that's probably what you landed on.
Never better.
In amongst that, you do find probably a dozen human bone remains. So it appears that when they sealed the door, they did so by burying people alive.
So, seeing that Cord had some issue, Kazarek is going to pull rope out of his explorer's pack and use that to get down.
Alrighty. So you scurry down the rope. You're in the landing area with a cord. Cord, the staircase here goes down into the dark at about a 30-degree angle, which is not too steep, but nonetheless, it looks like it goes off interminably downward. Very uncharacteristic for a tomb. Normally, a tomb is just a small hole in the ground where they bury bodies, but this staircase has graphics on the left and right walls that seem to have been hand painted.
Oh, they look.
But because of the darkness here, because there's no light source at this point, all you can see is just like a black and white, cartoony like image going down the walls left and right.
Traxxas will cast dancing lights,
Okay,
Okay.
one above each of their heads.
alrighty. And two more sitting at the base of the doorway waiting for the rest of you to come down.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know, Miri, when you have something together on who you're going to play next.
Okay.
And then I'll get you into the story.
What?
Npac, despite his departure, Npac does come down the rope as well. And he's very clever, by the way, just so you know, Kazarak. He's so resourceful that he untied the knot before he came down. So he had to make a dex save when he fell, too, because he thought he was doing you a favor and hurt himself on the way down.
I left that there for a reason.
I didn't want you to lose your rope.
I would have gotten there when we came back up.
Oh, we're coming back. Of course. Right. Sorry.
But thank you for the assistance. And he'll take the rope back.
Okay. So now there's light. You can see that the images on the left and right side show the rise and fall of Rondar. How he started from being a child of a traveling solicitor, a tinker, and such like. So he learned a lot of different skills as a child, performing in front of audiences and making people laugh, and apparently did some storytelling as well as a lot of running. Apparently he made enemies pretty easily, and so after the first 30 or 40 feet down, you come to the first of a pair of doors. There's Npac. Npac is connecting. His name is Connecting to Stephen P.
Hello?
His name
Can you guys
keeps
hear me
changing.
now?
Yep, we can hear you.
Oh no, my mic wasn't.
We had your nickname as NPC, so Npac is what I'm calling you. We can come up with a name for him.
Oh yeah, I'm oh fuck. Yeah.
So he's Npac, the warrior priest of the White Veil. That look. He's here to make sure nothing bad happens.
Yep. I had heard tales of
Of the queen, the king, the cord.
yes.
Yes.
And their activities of creating new goals to overcome.
Exactly. And you want
Right.
nothing. You want nothing to happen because of it.
Yes, yes. Try to prevent little of their new goals to overcome
One little accident.
for others to create,
Yes.
overcome. Let me rephrase that.
I can totally see that this becoming a comedy bit. That's funny. All right. So what I did for you, Npac, is you handed off the rope back to Kasarak because you cleverly realized that he left it tied and it wouldn't be able to get it back. So you untied it for him and brought it down with you. Unfortunately, that meant that you had to climb for free, and you fell a little bit, but he got his rope back. So you're of course, he intended to leave it up there to climb back out, but you were just being conscientious and thoughtful. So you.
No, nothing must be left behind.
There we go. Thank you. All right, Cord. So you get the first pair of doors. One to the left is made out of simple wood. The doorknob has a happy face sticker kind of thing placed on the outside of it, bright yellow with black eyes and smile. And to the right, there is a metal door with spikes around what might be the window, but the window is kind of a gauzy, opaque, white, creamy, milky material.
Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, the spike door might be harder to get through, but it might have be the right path. I'm not sure. I mean, usually the door like that, pointing to the spiky door, hides some horrible beastie behind it. But
Spikes facing out. Keep other things out, not in.
Um, facing outwards, right?
Yep, the spikes are like around the doorknob. Looks like if you grab the doorknob, you'd have to run your hand right by the spikes to get it open. So it's like a little like cup of spikes. The camera's not letting me show you my hand. Little cup of spikes, and the door handle's inside of it. So you have to reach through the spikes to get to the door handle.
All right, I'm gonna reach for the door handle.
On that door? On that. Okay.
Yep.
So make a dex save.
All right. Lord knows I'm good at these. That's 6 plus 0.
Yep. So the spikes clench down on your hand, and all of your knuckles feel extremely pained. You'll take a total of 12 points of damage to that hand, and you can't let go of the doorknob.
Well, I guess we're gonna try the other door.
Well, no, your hand is stuck to the door. You're going to have to turn the knob. It's just literally as you reached in to get to it, the metal clamps basically closed on your hand to hold it there to make you open it.
All right, well, I'll open the door.
When you do, there's this blast of a 4-voice harmonic pipe.
Praxis counters it with a pretty chord.
Nice.
I do nothing.
Nice. You'll take another 4 points of damage, so you'll take a total of 16 points of damage. But the doorknob will release you as the sound of what sound like a train whistle blows 4 times.
Onwards.
I pat his back. Nothing will.
I mean,
I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm gonna.
Never mind.
Anyone got a dead horse?
Yeah, I see.
I'm gonna limp through the door.
Okay, limping through the door, holding your hand as it's regenerating the damage back over time. You find yourself in what looks to be a stock room. You smell fruit, like all kinds of different fruits, things you haven't even smelled before. The sweetness and aroma of it is downright heady. You see cases and cases, boxes, if you will, of fruit and vegetables just standing around. There's a pale light about 30 feet away, coming from 2 basically squarish looking ovoid or oval shaped windows. They're squarish in shape, but they're curved like ovals at the corners. There's also a thin strip of light coming from between the 2, indicating that it might be 2 separate doors that you're looking at. The floor is slick, and you can see a squarish pattern in the dim light. The globes of light were extinguished as you entered the space, so your magic lights collapsed as you came into the room.
All right.
Somewhere you hear a tinny voice. Clean up in aisle 2. Clean up in aisle 2. Please check your belongings at the door. Please check your belongings at the door. Clean up in aisle 2.
What kind of tomb is this?
this doesn't sound like any tomb I've ever encountered. Not respectful or dignified at all.
What rhymes with reliquary?
Solitary.
Adversary? Preliminary?
It's the adversary's reliquary. Clean up on aisle 2. That means you.
Wait, how did we get back here?
Also, you find that as you're pushing into the space, then the aisle that you're in is barely wide enough for cord, and the so you guys as you come in, you're kind of cramped in space.
Uh,
Suddenly you see something pass in front of the two windows moving at a moderate pace. So they black each of the windows blacks out for a second as somebody passes by it.
Hello.
Somewhere in the distance, in the back of the building, still on your side of those glowing doors, you can hear a little chick 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 chick. Mm-hmm.
Um, okay. Well, I will go forward to the aisle to the lights.
Okay, as you approach the lights, the light outside is blinding in comparison. The brightness of the yellow light coming through that window is more light than you've ever experienced. It's as bad as the brightness of the light beam that destroyed Cauldron.
Duck.
The they just gotta switch the character's name. Gene.
What?
You just have to
And that's
change the
what I'm
character.
working
Yeah,
on.
I know you are. I know you are. I know you are.
The only problem is I want Moon Jewel, but the jewel in Elvish is Miri. I don't want to do that.
Ah, just call her
There's
Jewel.
always others.
Anyway, so that's the brilliance of the light you see ahead of you, Cord. But what's interesting is that what you see are, uh, from all appearances, it looks like human peasants in brightly colored clothing. Some of them with words written on them that don't make any sense, like Mountain Dew on a shirt that a person's wearing. It's a tightly worn tunic, and it doesn't even go over the waistband. Instead, the person's midriff is showing.
Excuse me? Am I at a NASCAR rally?
No, it's just there's a woman in what looks like a paisley muumuu pushing a wheeled contrivance made out of wire, and it looks like she's like keeping captive canisters of material. It's just odd. She's got
I've seen cans before.
what's that?
Gene,
I've seen cans of food before.
Right, but you haven't seen carts like these. They're made out
True.
of wire. They really seem impractical. They're pushing the wire carts around inside of the store. Nobody takes carts inside of a store. You use that when you're leaving.
Hey, hello. Can you hear me?
So you're gonna walk through the doors?
Oh, I thought I was.
No. You just come to the door and you're looking through the little glass window. Off to your right, the sound is coming from a dark-haired individual. He's wearing spectacles, which seems odd because usually spectacles are reserved for like scholars and such. But he's wearing a white half-sleeve shirt with a very oddly pressed collar and a black tie at his neck that looks kind of like a girl's ribbon just at his throat. It's very short, doesn't have any extraneous hanging like a regular bow would.
What is he doing?
Well, he's got a device in his hand that looks like a hammer without a handle. He's holding it on the back of the hammerhead, and he's slamming it into these boxes, and that's what the clack clack sound is. Chick 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 as he's pushing the hammer down, relatively gently, surprisingly enough, on each of the objects inside of the box he's working with. When he finishes them, he flips the box upside down on the little wooden pallet, which you would be familiar with, and he lifts them up. And when he lifts up the outer container, there are brightly colored little boxes that have writing on them, but they're not in a language you can understand. But it looks like pictures of what looks like puffed corn.
We appear to be on top of Mount Dew. And there's a scholar unpacking things over there.
Yes.
I'm very confused.
As am I. Well, I'm gonna
And while you're standing there in hesitation, the door bursts open and the door passes through you.
Oh.
As it
It was an
does, a
illusion.
guy comes through the door. He's wearing a dark jacket over a similar white shirt to the other individual, only this gentleman's tie is a tightly tied single knot with the rest of it hanging down, almost like it looks to all the world kind of like a black noose. It's just so odd that you have a single knot at the top and this long thread hanging down the front of his
Uh,
shirt inside of his brown
visiting the
jacket.
hanging gardens.
And yeah, exactly, makes you reminiscent of the Hanging Gardens. He comes in and goes, "Ronnie, are you done yet?" The young guy in the back, startled, says, "No, sir. This is only my first case." The other guy goes, "Well, come on. You need to really get yourself tightened up. Just got to get a bit of polish. You're never going to make it in this business if you can't get yourself polished up. Now get on it." He turns around and walks back out. "Yes, sir, Mr. Burton. Yes, sir. Yes, sir." He goes back to stacking the boxes. Now he's a little more frantic with his movement, but every third or fourth time you see that he doesn't bring the hammer down exactly right. It seems like the hammer slides on the surface. He makes some kind of a sound, maybe possibly an epithet, and has to mark it again. And so he's obviously quite afraid of who the other guy was.
Ugh,
Hmm.
bosses.
What is going on?
I'm gonna poke the one of the boxes he's playing with.
The boxes, they're all the same. The cases, the outside
Yeah.
case is like a brown material, kinds of look like wood, but he's acting like he must be really strong because he's throwing these wood boxes like they're nothing. And inside of each of the boxes are 16 other smaller boxes that are brightly colored in yellow and look like they've got puffed corn as an image
Hmm.
on the side of the package.
I'm gonna I'm gonna grab that one.
You can go over and grab one of the boxes.
Yeah.
Okay, so NPAC starts heading over towards the younger guy. Younger guy doesn't even seem to notice.
NPEC, I think it's an illusion or something like that.
He says, "That's funny," as he picks up one of the boxes. Box feels real enough. The surface of it feels a little bit like paper, but it's more solid than paper would be. There's
Hmm.
writing on it that you can't make out, and some of it's so tiny you barely can even see that they're individual letters. But the picture shows a big, looks like a serving bowl with a whole bunch of this puffed corn in it, and a weird animal that looks kind of like an antelope, grinning like a cat at you. Just a big smile on its face.
This is
Um,
not important.
I'm gonna
Let me open this. I'm gonna
run
open
to the
it.
Okay,
doors.
so you tear the box open, and since you wouldn't know necessarily about how about opening it, kind of gets torn, and little puffs of
I'm gonna open it sideways,
yeah,
like
exactly.
if
Like you'd expect a
yeah
box to open. The top opens as you pull out on the
yeah.
top, and the box will just fall apart because it's only made out of, like I said, some kind of paper, and so the
Hmm.
little corn puffs go flying all around you. There's some get caught in your armor and your clothing, and some of it's on your shirt front.
I'm gonna sniff like I'm gonna take one into my
Right,
claw,
your
and then I
hand.
sniff it.
Yep, it
And
smells sweet.
I'm gonna put it in my mouth and take it.
Okay,
Nibble.
um, you've eaten good berries, and so you know how nutritious they are. This
Mhm.
feels that good going in. It feels like it should be really, really nutritious, as sweet and good as it feels going into your mouth, and it just kind of melts.
Oh, oh, what is this? Me? Where? I'm gonna go look for more of these boxes.
Oh, well, like I said, the guy's working on one. There's hundreds of them just strewn all over, right where you are.
Oh heck
So,
yeah! I'm taking these with me.
If it looks
I'm
like
gonna show
drugs
it
and
to my.
tastes like drugs, it's drugs.
Um,
I'm gonna do. Can I do a nature check on the corn to see if it's natural or some sort of?
Yeah, he doesn't want any of that high fructose crap.
yeah. Sugar. I want sugar cane.
He got no idea that this tasted like heaven on the earth. What was
Just
that?
a moment. Is it caramel corn? Now that's heaven on earth.
No, it's cereal, Gene.
It's just good old breakfast cereal, but it's sugar coated nonsense. So what was that, Kasserek?
I'm gonna do a nature check on
Okay.
whatever.
There is absolutely nothing natural about the material that he's putting in his mouth.
Um.
The box itself is more natural by
Oh.
definition than the stuff he's putting in his face.
Can I make a request?
Sure.
Can we please go to the freezer aisle? Because I need some reason to have Caserac find a casserole.
Yes, sir. We definitely have to find a casserole.
I need that to happen.
I also need some ice cream too.
Travis, why?
I want like a ice,
So,
like a chocolate ice cream that has a bear roaring, so I can think, oh, is that my family member?
Nice.
So completely concerned for Impact's safety at the fact that he is putting this unnatural substance in his mouth. I'm gonna try to run up and gently, but not forcefully, pull him away. I'm like, that's just
I
not.
look to him.
Okay. While you're doing this, a little boy, maybe 4 years old, comes from behind the curtain next to where Ronnie is sitting doing his work. And the little boy looks up at you guys and says, "Why are you making so much noise?" Ronnie looks down at the boy and says, "What are you doing?" And the boy says, "I'm just talking to them." And he goes, "Stop it." He says, I only brought you in here because I couldn't find a babysitter. Now you go back over there and sit down. Put your hands in your lap. When we leave
Wait
here,
a minute.
if you leave here, you get to get some ice cream if I want to get it for you. The little boy
Wait a
goes back
minute.
over and sits down.
I'm gonna go
Hey,
go to the little boy.
Kid,
Fuck
show me
this
your
shit,
hands.
I'm out.
Show me your hands.
As the kid goes back over to sit down, you hear a phrase you've heard before, but you can't place where. And it may not even be your character, but you in game will recognize the phrase. Little boy puts his hands in his lap. When you say that, he looks up at you, shakes his head violently, and says, "Supposed to not." But then he goes ahead and shows you his hands, and then puts them back
Oh
down.
God, you run away.
What?
Oh, is this Heg's place?
No?
What's on his hands?
Nothing. They're grimy. There's a little bit of probably some bubble gum stuck to them because he pops his bubbles and then gets it stuck to his hands. He's he's always supposed to wash his hands so his palms are perfectly clean, but along the outside edges of the fingers, because kids never know how to wash that part very well, they're still dirty. He's got a little bit of a smudge of grease on his arm where he was touching something in the back that he's not supposed to put his arm on, hence the phrase "supposed to not."
All right.
The little kid is dressed exactly like the man that he's sitting next to. He's got a little tiny bow tie on, a little white shirt, even a tiny little brown apron.
Are there grooves on his hand?
Yes.
So he is Nycosian.
What's the difference?
The
Oh.
opposite. What are you talking about?
Correct.
There is no difference anymore. They fixed that.
Except Ghost wouldn't have that fixed.
No, there is no difference.
No, but
The
he
difference.
says no. She's saying ghostly spiritually. If he was a spirit, you wouldn't.
What
have
if they
Even-
fix the
even then-
hands?
But in this case, his hands are grooved. But
I'm not. Since when did they fix the hands? I wasn't. Okay. All right.
There was you were. It was not in this week, but a different week, a different day of the week. Somebody wished away the differences.
All right.
But we watched it
Yo,
last
kid.
week.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see.
Remember,
Fantasy
we've
voice.
already gone through that. We went through that.
Yeah.
Hail, wastrel! Tell thine father to mind his own business.
The little kid shakes his head violently. Just.
As
Hey, King, are you having a stroke?
I'm pretty sure I'm expected to do this because we're from Fantasyland.
Okay. Outside, you can hear. I see monsters. There's a
Where?
there's a little girl in one of those wire cages. Remember, we saw the wire cages had food items. There is a child in the back of one of these cages.
Oh.
They sit
They
there.
told you,
They seem
Hank.
to be strapped into it.
I'm gonna.
They're magically delicious.
Oh my God.
You want some,
Okay.
kid?
Um,
Hand him some berries of the cereal.
You want some good,
So you're
good?
gonna go out into the store. You're gonna go into the main part of where the really bright light is.
Oh my god. Hey, can someone go save that child?
I'm.
I
Wait, there's a
think it's
giant
just how
out
they
there.
carry
A
their kids
giant.
around.
I'm gonna limp forward and tap
Okay,
the.
your limp is reduced because of your healing capabilities. So you're back to normal by now.
Okay, I'm gonna walk forward and tap the. I'm gonna try and tap Ronnie on his shoulder.
Okay, so Ronnie's still in the back. He's not actually out in the store. So
Oh, I thought we were in the main store.
no, we're still out inside of the black plastic doors. Only so far did the guy in the brown jacket come through the door. Nobody's gone the other direction through the door. But like I
Right.
said, you saw the kids in the cage on the wheeled cart going down one of the aisles inside the store itself.
Somebody pushing the cart, right?
Well, from time to
Kids
time, they'll push it a
dancing.
little bit, and then they'll stop and go and look at stuff. And the little child is sitting, holding some kind of packaging, and spinning it around, and maybe even singing to themselves as they're messing with whatever it is they've got.
I'm gonna go.
Praxis tries to learn the song.
Let's see, what would it be? My baloney has the first name, it's Othear. My baloney has a second name, it's Mayer. Oh, I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me why, I'll say that
Thanks,
Oscar
Oscar.
Mayer has a way with Bologna.
Nice.
Yes, this is a world.
Oscar
This is a
Mayer.
world for a bard because everything is a mini song. Every commercial is a single song. You get the entire ad message in words every time because that's what worked back in those days. 1960s, 50s, and 60s. Oh my goodness, those things worked especially.
And then the 80s and 90s happened, and now we just get the numbers.
Oh,
That's
I
right.
love that.
It's
I
1
need an Oscar
800.
Mayer wiener. That is
Uh,
what I truly want to be. 'Cause if I was an Oscar Mayer wiener,
Whoa, I hear words of
everyone
not
would be
reason.
in love with
And
me.
then you see the packaging, and you see the child holding the Oscar Myers packaging. Oh my God! They really do
turning
eat their children.
Run away!
That is right. That is terrifying. That's right. There's a lot of them we can't even sing on stream because of the overtones. Like one of my favorite was the Frito commercial. You can't even do it anymore. You get in trouble for the Frito commercial or
The
the
Fritos,
the
what come
the
call
the the,
guy?
the La Choy commercials you can't do anymore. They were horrible nowadays by our standards. Anyway,
Horrible?
worst of all, worst of all is the fact that you see a one child coming down an aisle in a cart with a jar, and inside of the jar you see a little elven girl. She's looking out of the packaging at you guys.
Like she's looking at us?
Yes.
If I move to the side a bit, does I move?
Yes. Isophaline, you were minding your own business. You'd done a little bit of adventuring. We're sitting on a tree branch, and suddenly you find yourself inside of a glass jar.
Well, fuck. Oh, right, not tomato.
But I do want my original origin
You
that
have
we
your
talked about.
you have your story.
Okay.
You don't. I don't even know what your story is, so don't worry about it. You're in a jar. In
I'm
as far
in
as
a
as far as
jar.
bringing yeah, that whatever your background was before this moment doesn't matter. It's just that you were caught by what appears to be some form of a giant that's got you in a bottle in a jar, and the giant that holds you looks like he might be 6 or 7 years old, and he's poking at the jar and shaking it, knocking you off of your
She's trying.
perch.
She's trying to brace herself in the jar.
I'm gonna
So
go
she,
over
you
there where the
know,
jar's
Yes.
at. I wanna have a look
okay.
at this jar.
So, Kazra, I guess now.
You're gonna have to leave the safety of the darkness to go find out.
Yes, I am
Yeah.
leaving the safety of the darkness. I want this jar.
Okay. So,
Traxxas is gonna cast Mage Hand and try to grab the jar.
Okay.
oh, that could work too.
Okay, so as the jar is caught by the magic the magic hand, and there's a struggle between the two because the child's strength is about the same as the jar. The mother of the child turns around and sees what looks like the kid about to throw the jar on the floor because his hand is out over the expanse, and she grabs a hold from the other side and pushes it against the mage hand back into the little boy's hand. She doesn't even notice it. It's like her hand passes right through the mage hand, doesn't even see it, and says, "Keep that close to you. We did a lot of work to help you catch that yesterday, and you got to be able to show it at show and tell tomorrow. So keep it
All right.
close to you." So the little kid tucks it in against his body, doesn't get to look
Uh,
at it anymore, and kind of is sulky.
I don't know if we should take it from him.
Guess you're right.
Yes.
Yeah, leave an imprisoned creature. That doesn't make any sense to anybody
Yes.
in the group, especially not Caserac.
I
Caserac,
Or
am.
remembering the memory of Miri and all she tried to do for others, he wouldn't be able to let that happen.
take
Nope.
care,
I
little
am
one.
gonna try
You're
to.
back.
No,
Hold
let's
on.
not
Stop.
Stop,
this.
Steven.
Sorry.
Stop. What are you doing, Scott?
Is there? Wait. Is there a way I can take up with the kid and possibly flip him up without being noticed?
He's in the cart.
He's strapped into the cart.
Oh, and he's got that. Oh, okay.
But
Traxxas.
but you can
if-
walk right up because the woman is not even aware of your presence. You notice that when you're walking in here, the only people that are responding to you are the kids under, say, 10 years old. Anybody older than that is either ignoring you or not even aware that you're there.
So I am going to try to. I don't have like
So kids' imagination is
a.
super powerful.
They're the only ones susceptible for what's going on.
Oh my god, all the imaginary creatures that existed in the world are Nycos?
I want to do a. Sadly, I don't have the spell to do what I want to. I want to try to levitate.
Okay.
Traxxas is going to cast
Caserac.
Minor Illusion.
Caserac, do what you tell me what you want to have done. Don't worry about spell lists. You know this about me. Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to levitate the jar out
Okay,
of the kid.
so we're gonna go with the mage hand still being there in trying to tug on it still. You're casting, what was it, Traxxas?
Minor Illusion.
Minor illusion of.
For sleep.
A horrifying
What?
clown with big teeth and a big red balloon.
What
Right
is
next to
wrong
him.
with you?
Okay. Isophiline, you can, from where you were positioned, see other adventurers in the doorway, and you're thinking to yourself, "Thank God I'm gonna get saved from this horror thing." The paws of this giant child basically are covering the outside of your jar, so you can barely make anything out.
Yeah.
But because of the combine, okay, and Cord, what are you doing? You're still standing in the darkness.
I think he fell asleep.
No, he didn't fall asleep. Probably doesn't realize he's muted again. So as the clown thing manifests, the little boy screams, pulls his hands back to cover his eyes, leaving the jar floating loose. The magic jar pulls it away from the edge of the cart, and as the mom turns to hear the boy scream, she sees the levitation slowly bringing the jar across the ground, and she screams. When she screams, she falls backwards into one of the displays, and a whole bunch of pretzels fall on the ground, spraying all over the place behind her. Of course, she's now mortified about that, so she turns back to that rather than dealing with the jar, and the jar is now levitates and comes into the hand of let's see, NPC. NPAC is the one who actually casts the.
No,
right?
I did.
No, I didn't
Oh,
cast
you
it.
did.
I just went
Okay,
forward.
So it levitates to Caserac.
And Catherine is going to try to frantically screw it and get the.
Yeah, mess with the lid a little bit. You realize that it can turn, and by twisting it, almost immediately, a Syphiline, like a jack-in-the-box, pushes her way out of the space and is as tall as the rest of you now that she's outside of the jar. You realize that apparently she manifested in this world as a grasshopper or something like that.
Hmm.
To an adult who grabbed it.
Thank
I'm just
you.
gonna look her over. Are you all right?
Yes. Now, pleasure to meet you. Oh, I saw you, but there's not much I could do until that child let loose of that bottle, and it wasn't about to.
Hmm.
You're welcome for your life. Do not ask for it twice.
Yes. Okay, so Impact, you're
I
in the
won't.
store. You're in the store. You realize that the children are the only one that are reacting to you. A couple of them are standing at the end of the aisle gawking at you. They have little wooden swords in their hand, and on the side of it it says Stuckies, Stuckees in big letters. It's even readable in any language because a Stuckies anywhere should be identifiable. I'm sorry, it's just those of us from the Midwest know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, in Arizona was the first one I ever came across. Not shortly
Um,
after the border, when you got into
Yeah,
somewhere, there was a Stuckey.
but they'd been sort of dueling with each other, and all of a sudden they look up and they see NPAC standing in the aisle. Kasarek, you're standing next to the cold foods.
okay.
You see, you,
I'm
you see.
Hello?
You're welcome, Traxus. Standing
Ah,
next to the lasagnas.
why?
What is this?
Why?
here he comes.
Look at
There
that!
you
Look at that!
go.
Oh my god.
And he ain't wearing no clothes.
Ah,
Oh, yes, they call him the streak.
Pass the thing on 2 feet. Anyway,
Boogity,
so
boogity.
you got Isophiline. Cord, you're still standing looking at Ronnie. Ronnie is working frantically trying to make the stack of boxes work right. And it realizes he's miscounted and sees the one that's torn up and spread all over the floor and panics. And he turns to the little boy and says, "What's wrong with you? Why didn't you do what I said? This wouldn't have been knocked over if it hadn't been for you. What do you think you are, a 2-year old?"
Whoa.
Lord, are you there?
Yes.
Child abuse, it's what we're
Child,
all about.
call your dad a malefactor. Do it.
The little boy's eyes grow really large as you're saying that Ronnie's standing up and he's reaching for his hip. And he starts to disconnect the belt that holds his trousers up. I told you if you didn't behave here, we would have to take care of this.
Gonna try tapping Ronnie on the
I
shoulder
don't.
again.
I know what to have him say, but I can't sing it.
Yeah, exactly. Your hand passes right through Ronnie's shoulder. Ronnie shrugs like a fly has landed on him.
Oh, let's all run into him at once.
um, I'm gonna move forward and try and touch the kid.
Okay, so when you step between the two of them, the boy's looking up at you as the dad folds the belt against itself and pulls on both ends. He pulls
Mm.
them together, then he pushes them apart to create a gap, and you hear that whip cracking sound of the two belts slapping together as he pulls them taut again. The little boy starts to cry.
Cord's thinking the child's about to be eaten.
Exactly.
I'm gonna try and touch the kid on his arm.
Whoa. Let's pick up the kid and leave, not touch the kid.
Well, he's just
Eh,
trying to
I'm
get his attention.
experimenting.
He's just trying to catch
I'm
his
just
attention. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Just let's not. Okay. So the point is that as you do, the cracking sound of the whip of the belt slapping together is actually all that the father does. That's enough. The kid is in tears. The kid starts shaking his head vehemently, balls up his fists on his lap, and just stares at the floor. The dad puts the belt back on his pants. All he ever did was the sound. He didn't have to do anything more. The kid just knew that sound
ah,
meant danger. But that was the kid is terrorized, if you will, just by that sound, and goes back to being just himself. As he does, you see the light outside start to fade. You guys that are in the restaurant feel the light fading. the glow
Tra-
from the ice. They glow from the freezer boxes, and the light above the grocery above the produce are the only lights that stay bright as the outside lights start to dim.
Traxxas
Oh,
runs
okay.
for the light.
Okay, so you run to one of the refrigerator doors and open it.
No, 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 to the big light, the fading light.
Okay, so you run towards that, and you see it's still hanging in the sky, a bright yellow light, just so bright you can't even look upon its surface.
That's outside the
Hmm. Yeah, it's in the sky. It makes the light of Nimbus seem a quarter of its brightness.
is Nimbus in the sky?
No, there's no Nimbus in the sky.
Traxxas takes out some sunglasses
Nice.
and looks into the sun.
Actually, when you have to take out some sunglasses, there's a rack right there beside you. It says Ray Bans.
Yeah, yeah. But he throws the Ray-Bans away and grabs some aviators and puts those
Okay,
on.
sure. You got yourself a pair of aviators. The only thing you'd be able to see by trying to look at the sun is that there are a few little tiny black specks on the surface. Before you'd have to look away, you couldn't stare at it long enough; it would hurt too bad.
It was worth it.
Yeah. Plus, now you've got two glowing globes of white in front of your eyes as you're turning away.
I've gained dark vision.
No, that's not how that works. But it feels like it. Okay, but the light's
Okay.
still continuing to dim, guys. What are you going to do?
Leave.
I'm gonna look around the store.
I'm gonna leave.
Okay, well the only places that stay lit are like I said, the produce and the frozen foods. So everybody
I'm gonna
else
go to the
is
produce.
well,
Have the images faded of the people?
yeah, the people are starting to smudge, become less real.
All everyone, not just the adults, the kids too.
Well, you'll hear
Right.
the kids' laughter and stuff, but it's like they've it's almost like they've forgotten that you were there.
All right.
So they're back doing whatever they normally do.
Right.
I will leave as well.
So the light is in the sky outside, brighter than
It's
was.
going out because of the control of the light apparently was in the hands of the little boy.
Oh, that poor little boy. His imagination.
He
Okay.
just wants to
As the
get
lights are
out.
going out, you're standing next to the frozen foods, and you see a little can with a caricature of what looks to be a nautical officer. He has a anchor tattoo on his upper arm, and in his tiny hand, he's holding a can, and it says "I eats me spinach."
Do they have a cornhusk pipe?
He does, and a little white hat,
Awesome.
and only he's looking at you, squinting through one eye.
Ark, 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 ark.
There's also cans of green giant corn. So there's
Green
other
giant.
names that'd be interesting. Bird's eye peas. It sounds nasty. Oh God, who wants to eat bird's eyes? Ugh!
Yeah.
Frosted flakes, they're more than good.
They're
Uh.
great.
Okay, so
Tigers again. That concept of tigers and eating small children, because on the front is be little kids with the bowl in front of them. Tiger going, they're great.
my God,
Barbaric society.
stop. I know what you mean, but in character, stop.
Yeah, it should be hurting. It should be painful. Oh my God.
We don't even have like good jingles that are memorable anymore.
Nope.
Those died with the '80s, but
Nope. There are those of us still on the planet that remember them. Yeah,
Big.
1-800-877-cash now.
exactly. That's
The
the
kids
we got
one.
now. What's that?
yeah.
They've helped
There's a Cards for
thousands
Kids
of-
one.
Yes.
1-877-7
That goes with
cards
today's
for
world
kids.
too. Trade
Yeah.
trade cars for kids.
1-877-7 cards for kids.
That's still terrifying.
1-877-7 cards for kids.
Donate
your
car
card today.
and get your child for free.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like. Ew. All right. So as you guys, as the light fades, you're going to be kind of forced out because the only place where
Yeah.
there's any light still is actually back there where the little boy is, above him where the dad's stamping away madly on the boxes.
Back over all the boxes.
So,
As that light fades, you're standing in a dark hallway. There's a door at the end of that hallway, and what's interesting is that on the ground, starting at this position, going down this road, down this pathway, are a pair of tracks laid in the ground, like you would put a coal car or something like that on a mining car.
That was the weirdest detour I've ever been a part of.
He's going forward till we know what's going on.
So are we following this track, or are we going back to the main hallway?
I'm not comfortable here.
Was I
There's
able to grab
weird
one of the
things
boxes?
going on.
What's that, Cord?
Huh?
What are we doing? Are we following the rail tracks forward, or are we going to back out to the main hallway?
Oh.
Like I said, the tracks go on to a doorway.
Let's go to the next doorway.
Alrighty. Get down to the next doorway, and you can hear the sound of, I guess you'd call it the sound of industry, stuff moving around inside the door. It's closed, and you hear a lot of voices.
Alright.
Calling to one another.
Some more of the phantasms?
Well,
Probably.
like I said, you're outside the door, so you don't know yet.
Oh, hello. Who the hell are you?
I was in the bottle.
yeah, he was in the.
She's a
jar.
genie.
You have to explain it to her. She's in a jar.
Oh, welcome to the team, I guess. Don't stab us in the back.
Nicely done.
Don't stab you. Why would I stab you in the back?
He, apologies, he is a little bit,
I'm not very creative with
Greetings?
I'm not very creative, period.
well, he takes things, some of the things Lord Cord says will come very literal, but he doesn't literally mean, well, he does mean don't stab it in the back, but he's not saying you would.
I'm not very
I'm not
creative
helping, alright.
when it comes to betrayal.
She
Just
looks at
don't.
you. Yes, you are. It's a help. What are you, Lord? What is he Lord of?
Everywhere the sun touches, I am. is
Wow,
my
he's
kingdom.
Mufasa's boy.
Yeesh.
Whose son?
Everything
What
the sun.
son?
The Nimbus touches.
Yeah.
Not my
anyway,
son.
who are you?
I'm a Philippeline sun dancer.
What?
Sun dancer. Okay. Where have you come from?
Where do you go? Where do you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Nice.
She names a place.
Name a place.
Yeah, that's the name of the place. Name a place. I've been there before. It's really nice.
This
Silver
land.
Vale.
Indora.
Silverdale, Silver Hill, they're gonna kill.
Oh,
these
Nottingham. Is she from Nottingham?
Yeah.
Silver Vale.
Silver.
Not
Silver Valley.
Vale.
Yeah, gotcha. Silver Valley, not Silver Vale. Vale's got a new meaning. Remember, Nycos kind of gets you when you go calling things.
oh, well, then let's call it. Okay,
Silverton Springs. Who knows?
Silverwood.
Silverwood. There we go.
Silverwood.
I camped there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Is there a casino over there?
Yep.
Not yet. Maybe someday.
It's good to have you.
No, the Bass Pro Shops in between, well, in Las Vegas are also called the Silverwood
Okay.
something.
I
Silverton.
thought they were Silverton Lodge. That was... Anyway, so you're at that door. Now this door, the handle looks, the door looks institutional. And what I mean by that is it's a uniform enamel metal color, like a gray. The handle structure is a little pull bar that you would lift up on, and there is a narrow window about 4 inches wide that has a grid of metal built into the glass.
Oh, somebody certainly didn't want anybody to like break the glass and get in.
But there's a pull handle on the outside of it.
I will
Huh.
try the handle.
Okay, the handle, the bottom half of the handle actually gives a little, and you hear a clicking sound, and it opens. On the inside of
Good.
the door, parallel to the floor, about 4 feet up, is a 3.5 foot wide panel that has a raised section just as wide as it is, but the metal is curled so that you could push in on it. The mechanics on the door is a hole in the wall being a enamel panel as gray as the door that goes up and around the door frame, and the hinges have a large back spring on the back of it meant to pull the door closed.
Hmm.
Above the door is a sign that says EXIT in bright red letters. The floor is
Um,
strewn with paper, little tiny pieces of and clumps and crunched up pieces as well. It's like the room hasn't been cleaned in a while. And the space beyond is a long hallway. You can see that same bright sunlight at the far end of the hallway, seeming to be probably 200 feet from here, coming through two glass doors with a similar opening closing mechanism as this. To the left and the right down the hall, and the hall is about 20 feet wide. Again, it's polished squares. Because of the brilliance of the light, they just come across as being black, but the squares are all polished smooth, and along the walls are what look to be, I guess you call them like footlockers, only they're standing up on end, side by each, down the whole of the walls in between the doors.
Hmm.
As you get that door fully open, again you'll hear 3 blasts of that train whistle sound you heard earlier.
Hmm.
Does it do any damage to anyone who hears it or no?
No, no damage. Just an annoying, very loud sound. About 2/3 of that way down the hallway, you see a door open, and a woman in a mid-length dress, her hair tied up in a coif up above her ears, drags a metal device out of the room, and you swear it looks like a device of torture. It has a small box on the front of it and a seat, but the whole of it is connected together, and the sound it makes is this screeching sound as the metal is dragged across the floor. She drags the entire device outside of the hallway and says, "Johnny, get out here." The little boy comes out. He's about a 9 or 10 year old little guy. He also still has the nicely pressed shirt like he wore before, but doesn't have the little tie on. He's got his own little black belt on his trousers, and his shoes are really, really shiny. It looks like he's spent hours polishing them. He sits down in the chair, and she says, "Now you need to think about what you did and not do that anymore." He nods sullenly and just looks at the desk surface. You see him put his hands into his lap, and all of a sudden you recognize him because his hands ball up in the little tiny fists like they did in the other room. The teacher, the woman then goes back inside the room and closes the door.
What did you do this time, little guy?
He's the only one sitting in the hallway.
I'm gonna go have a talk with him.
Yeah, I wonder if he can still see us.
What can you?
Okay, so as you walk down, as you head down the hallway towards him, he's looking straight ahead, but you can see out of his peripheral vision, he apparently is responding to you, and he keeps shaking his head and looking away, but his eyes are drawn back to you. So by the time you get down to within 15 feet or so of him, he's now looking up at you. What do you
Hey,
want?
you okay? What happened?
I'm fine.
No,
Nothing
it's not.
important. Nothing important.
Ah, you're an important little guy. Tell Uncle not. important.
Not supposed to talk to strangers. No, that's the rule.
Uh, is that so? That's what happened earlier.
What are you talking about?
She said that you're not supposed to do that anymore.
No, no, I just embarrassed her, and it happens sometimes.
Uh,
It's
what did you do?
okay, she'll love you anyway.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She's just a teacher. They don't care.
Teacher.
Yeah, educator.
Would you embarrass a teacher?
Oh.
Because she was talking about Kahootic, and she doesn't know anything about Kahootic. She doesn't even know how to spell Kahootic. It's embarrassing. She's the
Yeah.
teacher.
And you teach her.
All I had to do was look it up in an encyclopedia, and she didn't even know what it was. She didn't know how to pronounce it.
And you showed her up. Awesome, man. High five to that. I totally
You
support
raise your
this.
hand towards him, and he flinches like he's going to get struck.
High five. You know. I clap my hands together.
Oh, when you do that, when you clap your hands, his hands fall back to his legs, and they ball up again. He stares straight ahead. Supposed to nod.
You don't.
Supposed to nod.
Is it not? Not what?
Maybe stop, you're scaring him out of his life.
Okay, I'll just sit down and stay quiet.
Traxxas will come over.
He looks up at Cord and says, "Wow, where'd you get that crown? That's cool."
Excuse me, what crown?
You feel up there, and there's a crown on your head.
Burger King.
Oh, cool! I had one of those. Those are awesome. But I can't wear it. He turns back, though. It's almost like he remembers something. He looks back and says, "Of course, I can't wear one anymore. I'm too old."
How old are you?
I'm 11.
Traxxas is gonna go over to the kid and kneel down, and he's playing happy little tunes on his theorbo.
Mm-hmm.
They're real pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone ever told you your mind is so full of heavenly things
Stop. Supposed to not.
that you're no earthly good?
Told you you're supposed to not.
You know my you know my granddad?
I know many things.
Mm.
I can read it in your eyes.
Well. Anyway, I told she couldn't figure that part out, and so I explained to her where Kahootic was and how close it was going to get. And we weren't going to get to see it anyway because there's going to be a rainstorm tomorrow. I don't ever get to see anything really magical. Anyway, magic stops. What am I saying? Magic doesn't even exist.
What?
Traxxas does prestidigitation. And so every time he strikes a string on his theorbo, a little dragon comes fluttering out, and it's little gold, and it flaps around and swirls around his head and then disappears into a sparkling.
He goes, yeah, I've seen the Bozo show. You're real impressive.
Azarac will walk up at this point, and you, produce a rose with druidcraft and hand it to Johnny.
He goes,
pull it out of your sleeve.
Oh, so you know the amazing Randy, too.
I like this kid.
Johnny.
Come on,
Kids
show
these
the
days,
power.
am I right?
You shouldn't.
He says the reality is, I read the encyclopedia when I was 7. You know, I read the whole thing from Alpha to Z, and all the little tricks you guys are talking about is just for show. You're just trying to make money off of it. My dad showed me, and it's just, you know, I even learned what that what do they call it, aura reading is like. I actually made a couple $100 as a magician last year.
Oh,
Wait,
nice.
I have an idea. Close your eyes.
No. You're not pulling.
Close your eyes.
Nope, not doing it.
Close your eyes.
His eyes get
Who
really
told
big.
You shouldn't.
You must close your eyes. Close your eyes. Hurry, close your eyes. I can't get much higher.
About this time, you guys hear the doorknob open on the door.
Hide.
What, Johnny?
That teacher comes out in the hallway and looks down at the little boy. She doesn't even notice you. You're all like hide, like trying to get behind things. She doesn't even notice. She walks right out in the hallway and says, "Mr. Fonesteel wants to see you." So
Wanna go with the kid.
the kid stands up, and the teacher puts her hand on his shoulder and pushes him down the hallway towards the bright light. At the door before the bright light on the left hand side, she opens it and walks in. If you follow him, which I imagine somebody probably did to
I
I'm
some
did. I
following
said
extent.
I'm
him.
following him.
Yep.
I haven't got him to realize what I need him to realize yet.
Yeah. As you get to the
I'm
corner and you look in the corner, there is, for all intents and purposes, what you would define as an ogre. He's probably 6'6". He's got a mole on the side of his nose as big as a second nose. He's got his hair is slicked back. Back in those days, they wore this really thick pomade in their hair to hold it down. So he's got his hair all slicked back. He looks like he might have been maybe a brawler in his youth. His knuckles are all bruised up. He's got a big fat ring that's got a capital G on it for the school he went to when he graduated high school. And he's also wearing one of those thin neck hanging things like the guy did earlier, only it's narrower and black. And he's got his sleeves rolled up, and he's got a pencil behind his ear. And it's just this terrifying visage as he's leaning across the table, and this little boy is ushered into a chair in front of him. The woman comes back to the door and closes it with a laugh.
Tell him it's not my fault. I'm smarter than her.
okay. So
That's exactly what got me in trouble. That's in the meta. That's exactly what got me in trouble. I told her I was smarter.
I knew
than
this
her.
was you. I knew this was
And-
you.
Praxis
and
says, "Hey, I hear Troll's weakness is acid. Try it out."
Yes. You have
That
no
was
idea
fire.
how. Yes, exactly. The only problem with using acid in the presence of a troll is it turns into fire, because they retaliate. It gets ugly. Anyway, so yeah, I got taken in front of it. The only time I was ever taken in front of a principal in fifth grade.
It's because you're smarter than
And
the teacher.
again, the lights start. In this case, the lights dim quickly because I'm getting used to shutting things down.
Traxis begins to write on a piece of paper and says, "Just remember this name, NYCOS. It's gonna
so
save your life. It's gonna be the thing that
So-
makes everything alright."
So all of a sudden, the hallway you're in is the actual hallway you were transiting down. You can still see the tracks, but now they're wider, and there's a black smoke across the ceiling of this tunnel, and you can hear and feel the vibration and rumble of something big and monstrous ahead of you on the tracks. Again,
Cord,
this time 2 blasts of the horn.
What?
I think there's gonna be a fight coming up. This is more your department than mine.
Yeah. Let's
Just
protect the
saying.
little kid.
Philippeline flattens herself against the wall.
Okay.
The strangest catacomb I've ever been in.
She doesn't know what it is, but she doesn't want to meet it head on.
No, we must meet it head on. We must first succeed
And-
in
Good old
facing
good,
his
good
fear.
old Npex become the brave one and starts walking down the hallway in front. You going with him, Cord? Or are you hanging back?
Nothing is to be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, I'll go with him.
Okay.
Following Cord.
It doesn't seem like it's been very much time since the last kid you see, but as you come around the corner, the light ahead of you is that brilliant light, but it's not quite as bright. It's like the world itself is a little darker than it was before. And you see in the shade of what looks like arena seating, stacked metal chairs, one on top of the other, to create a stadium. There is a young man pacing back and forth, rubbing his knuckles and looking really scared. It's the same little boy, only this time he's wearing a bright orange twill shirt. It has no collar, but it has a metal ring with a little zipper that runs about halfway down his chest. Above that hanging is a little gold horn necklace, just a single horn. His trousers are corduroy brown. and his shoes have 3 stripes on the side of them, and on the heel, what looks to be a pair of wings.
Wait, what?
Yep.
He has
Yep.
the shoes.
Oh,
Guaranteed to make a kid jump higher, run
You've
faster.
heard this exactly, exactly. Um,
you have these shoes?
yeah,
Whoops.
exactly. The shoes everybody had to have back then. Oh my God, they had
Has the
the
shoes.
3 stripes on the sides of them. I still remember them to this day. If I found a pair tomorrow, I'd buy them. They
All
were
Stars. I forgot what the.
nope.
It,
That was one brand, but that was not the one that everybody wanted. The one everybody wanted was a nondescript brand. It never made it anywhere, but it was black canvas, 3 stripes on the side, and you wore it low slung, almost like a slipper. It was the coolest shoe ever. And the closest they have today are those Asus ones that you put your foot in, and it hugs your foot even if you don't have laces tied. I don't know if I can even describe it to you. I actually own a pair today of what is closest to what they
the
were.
ones that were all that when I was a kid were the ones with all the
All-Stars.
lights.
So wait,
I
she's
wanted the
gonna play
lights.
Oh, you
basketball or
wanted the
something?
lights. Those were the first of those.
Ah, the sparkly
Yep.
light. No, that was just me. No one thought those were cool. Just me.
Just you. Yeah. Well, I
And-
also
Wait,
later on with my son, he wanted the wheelies, the ones that had the wheels in the heel, but I wouldn't let him
Those are
have
just
those.
murder machines.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna walk up to the kid and press place guidance on him.
Okay, but as you're gonna cast what on him?
Guidance?
Guidance.
Oh no, sorry, no.
Okay.
Resistance.
So
Resistance.
Okay, resistance. Okay. As he's standing there pacing back and forth, you see what looks to be a young orc, maybe 16 years old, a little bit bigger than the kid, and what looks like a caricature of a goblin. He's a big-nosed, scurrilous, maybe a little greasy kid.
Yeah.
Okay, pause.
Yeah.
Pause. I need a pause.
Okay.
Woo. Okay. John,
Yeah.
is this a cry for help? Are you trying to tell us all the true inspirations for all the bad things in Nycos that ever
Yes.
happened?
Yes. This is going to get bad if you follow this to the end.
Let's get out of here. I don't want to be in 6th iteration. I don't want to be in 6th iteration.
What is wrong with this? There's nothing wrong with this.
Oh.
Please, I really. We're still in 1st iteration right now. I don't want to meet 6.
I'm from 6, so I'm.
No, you don't want to see the other side of 6.
Why? What's on the
Six
other
of-
side of 6?
You don't want to
Six
see
of
it.
No. Okay. So Travis is the only person who's got a character ever in modern play that actually observed what happened in iteration 6, and he did it through Nixley Land. So it was only an imagery thing, but it was so dark that I had the players all begging to get out of there. They're saying we don't need to see anymore. Can we get out of here now? Because
Let's hit the fast forward on that one,
we
baby.
we're just going back on the train. We don't even want to watch this part. So
Don't want to see 6.
so yeah, I think it's
The most
interesting that you
public
finally-
one, just to know the taste of it, the most public one is the Manes, so child murder and yeah.
Oh, it gets that. It goes there.
It
Oh.
does.
Oh no, it goes
It's-
there and
Yeah.
even further beyond.
It moves beyond the Wednesday stream. Let's put it that way. Wednesday stream has to be the lighter side. We get to that part, yeah, that's not a Wednesday stream thing. So I'll have to avoid it here. So you're safe from that standpoint, Travis.
Hooray.
Yep. So that's why I was trying to get guidance on him and
Yes.
maybe guide him away from
Yes. But the troll-like
the
boy,
resistance. Whatever.
the troll-like young man comes up behind the other one, the one that's already there. And the one that's there is like he's popping his knuckles. He looks like he's ready for a fight. And the little Weasley guy goes, "I brought Justin to make sure this goes down the way it's supposed to go. You stole my girl. You stole my girl without even talking to me about it, and she likes you now, so I'm going to make you pay."
Get your hands off her.
Exactly. Get your gun. I swear to God, it was like that. And this is at the age of 13, and the one tough guy grabs my arm, and at that moment,
He has a saving throw. Don't
Yep.
forget. He
Yep.
has a saving throw.
yes, but it gets better because at the moment when he's about to be grabbed
I cast
From-
Bardic Inspiration.
from the shadows, A beautiful, I guess you'd call her sorceress, steps out and lifts the troll like child off the ground by his collar, screams at him, "Lay your hands off of the chosen one!" and points at the little Weasley kid. And the Weasley kid runs screaming as his hair turns gray. And she marches the troll away.
The chosen one.
This is in meta.
For,
This is all.
for, a,
Oh,
for a second, the light gets brighter. And then out of the corner of the shadows steps a child you've not seen before that looks like the effeminate equivalent of the little boy. And the little girl's voice says, "Johnny, I had to tell Mom. I couldn't let them hurt you." And the sky goes dark almost immediately because the
Aww.
sister saved him. Can you imagine what that does to a 13-year-old boy's ego when your sister saves you?
My brothers used to save me all the time. I don't have
Yeah,
no
but it's
problem with it.
different when it's your younger sister.
Okay, it's in the Midwest and it's a girl and it's in a different time period.
Yes.
yeah.
That's
It's 3 strikes against the
It's
situation.
it's the equivalent of being neutered.
Yes.
Oh.
The rest of the story in this section is it gets worse.
And now we know where feathering comes from.
She's sweet, charming, and out to get you. Yes.
Okay. On this note, I may have to call it for tonight.
Is this
Why?
too much for you?
This is getting a little too intense. It's also my mom is
yeah, I'm
going.
enjoying this.
My mom is going to Utah tomorrow, and
Okay, you need to go off and take care of Mom and stuff. That's fine. We will go ahead and I'll thank you because I think these guys want to hear the rest of this story in the next piece anyway. So
Yeah.
we'll hold the story at this point, and we'll do some meta conversations before we end the stream, so that we can kind of decompress some of this. Thank you for being a participant, Scott. And we'll see you next time you come back to be with us.
yeah, it will probably be possibly Friday at this point. I need to figure out what's going on.
Okay, we'll talk
Goodness.
again. So I
Yeah.
just
The kid never got his saving throw for the darkness coming in.
no okay. That is not something that can be saved because you are following a certain path. If you think about
I
it for
know.
a
I'm
few
just
minutes,
saying.
yeah, I got it. All right, Scott. We'll see you later.
I
Alrighty.
don't understand it.
We're gonna
This
stop.
this session makes you want to go hug your family. That's what it is.
And it makes me want to hug.
Shut
Okay.
up! I gotta do the
Done.
closing jingle.
Okay, we gotta wait for because I was waiting for Scott to drop out because I wanted to we can have a bit of a meta conversation for a little bit. There we go. So just to draw the comparison for the viewers so they know what's going on. We are traveling in a path of Rondar. He is the last NPC that I ever ran in my own campaign. The only one that actually played as a character in my own story, and he has a tragic tale, but he also was with me all the way till 6th iteration, and that's where he had his story had to end, and he never got a chance to become an avatar. Hence the reason for Cord's adventure a couple weeks ago, where you got to see him finally ascend to avatar status.
Say that again. He was your character that you took and made an NPC.
I played as a character. I played him as a character, kind of more intensely than Wallace. You guys have run into Wallace a time or two, a recurring NPC. But in the case of Rondar, he actually was a character that I played off and on through all of the iterations.
Cool.
And now we have Davros. Great.
Yes, and there's
What a trade up.
There's a reason for that. So, I hope you're okay, Cord. I didn't mean to upstage the storyline here, but I just wanted you to be aware of what's going on. Those vignettes you're seeing are actual places in my life. Since you chose the course with the railroad, you're going to see the parts that are the downside. These are the parts where I almost would have become the evil TPK DM because these are all the places where my imagination was.
6th iteration.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh, okay. Clears that up.
So, yes. So
We should go back in time and fix 6th radiation.
Nope.
no, because it's still
No?
it's part of what was. It's just a matter of acknowledging it and being able to get past it. So,
It's about
somebody
forgetting it and shoving it under the rug until it disappears.
because it doesn't. So
That doesn't do anything.
All right.
So
Well, thank you.
Well, and in particular, Cord, what I'm hoping that it will translate to you is the ability to understand that being a leader has more to with holding on to who you are, in spite of all the things that come along that tell you to do other things. I greatly appreciated the fact that you said we are doing this, even though you didn't want to say that, because that is the first step of leadership: is to actually make the decision and act. So.
All right.
In my understanding, it's making the best decision that you can with the information that you've gotten, and no matter what it is, you back it up and you take the brunt of the consequences. You
Well,
protect and
and
lead.
adapt it as you can when you can to
Yeah.
get you more close to what you're looking for. Um, are we doing okay in court in terms of your personal play experience, or do you feel like I'm overplaying it?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to do something we don't ever do, and that is for the next 45 minutes, question and answer. And this applies to you guys and to our viewers to ask questions about Nycos. And I will answer them as clearly as I can unless they're going to interfere with storylines. So don't, for God's sake, don't ask me to tell you what's going on with the Fellstones or what the
Where's Stavros?
right, exactly. No,
Ah,
more importantly, don't ask me where Quantivus is right now because I'm not going to tell you.
he who?
Or the floating city,
Trantor? Yeah.
Cantor.
Where's Vafthrender?
Where's Mother at?
Oh, you know where Valthrender is. I don't have to go there anymore. You fixed that for me.
Oh yeah, well we're
Where's
in it right
Mother
now.
at?
We're in it, right? Are we in Vafthrender? Am I making friends?
Here now? No,
No, heart.
I can't tell you.
Okay, that's yes.
Oh, I like the assumptions.
Hmm.
We'll find out tomorrow.
So
This
I
is
We
heard
just
Barrett.
found
This
out
is
today.
Barrett, Mother
I
again.
heard Impact say he was enjoying this. You like looking into the background of me? Is that what you're saying? You want to get a feel for what's going on?
That's dangerous territory,
It is.
and I'm happy. to hear.
It's
I
dangerous.
I personally don't want a white veil walking around in John's head, in John's memories.
That's fine.
Unless it's about 6th iteration, then I guess
Nothing
that's
is
okay.
gonna go wrong.
Okay, and
Nothing's gonna go wrong. You don't understand those white veil puns, man.
Philip, we're
Nothing
going to
is
need
gonna
to
go
know your
wrong.
backstory because you made a deal of it. So you need to get me a text of what your backstory is.
Okay.
Oh, Gene, I looked it up. You can also use MIR as a suffix for jewel. So if you want to do Isilmir or Silamir, that will also
That's
have.
male. That's why I is on the end of it.
No,
Actually, Mary's name was meant Jewel.
I
You
know.
made
That's what I'm
G.
saying.
Yeah.
Isilamir is Sindarin for jewel.
Oh,
Miri is Kenya for jewel.
They're both Eldrin, but they're different.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about Lord of the Rings Elvish.
No, I know.
And MIR in Sindarin can be a prefix or a suffix, like the Nauglamir
yeah.
is the ruling
Hey,
jewel or whatever.
Cord, can you tell me when did you
A
first play a role
telomere.
play game? How old were you? I was your
Um.
first GM, or did you play before me?
Yep. I was 15, and yeah, you're the
I'm gonna
first
put
GM.
an
All
A at
right,
the
all
end.
right. Good to hear. And you're GMing now, right?
Kind of.
Kind of. You got to do some GMing though this last summer, right?
Yeah.
Roads.
Cool. How'd that go?
It went okay.
Good. What did you find the most difficult thing about being a storyteller?
Um. Let me think. Taking notes, to be honest.
Overrated.
Taking the mental picture and making sure it stayed the way you wanted it to be.
No, writing notes down physically on a piece of paper or on a computer.
Why do you think John yells at us when we don't take notes? Because you put it on your players to take the notes.
Why?
Okay, here's
Because
why.
that's one of the benefits of being a DM.
Well, no, okay. There's 3 reasons to have the players take notes. Number 1, they're going to write down what they remember, and what they remember is what you're trying to foster. Because what I remember of the games, I've got to remember all kinds of nonsense, like how many hit points a monster has and all that kind of stuff. They don't really care about that. They want to know what it felt like to biff the creature in the door, or what that door frame felt like as you passed through it, or how cold was the refrigeration unit where they saved those casseroles. These are all things that you don't think that they want to remember, but that's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember seeing that Caserac was in the aisle with the casseroles. That will be stuck in their heads, forever. And that's what you want, because that's what you get to play with. So next time we play, that's what's going to be remembered, and that's what they're going to tell each other time over time. Yeah, you should have been there in the time when we went into the 1960s and saved an elf that was being kidnapped because she looked like a grasshopper. That really happened? Yeah, that happened in the game. It was awesome.
Well,
Of course, it wasn't fun for the grasshopper. She was not.
No, not at all.
I found
Missing you with a
Travis?
grasshopper?
Travis, can you tell me what Sundancer would be in Elven?
Sure, give me a minute.
I found it was just easier.
Will
to do
Freya
more.
ever see her mother again,
So it's-
aka Death?
What's that?
Said, would Freya ever see her mother again, aka Death?
Quite possibly.
Hmm.
Probably.
Not actual dying, of course, just like talking.
Right. No. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. But let's see. No, they're taking notes isn't really important if you're able to hold on to the story. One of the reasons why I have the maps and have you seen inside my book, Cord?
No.
My big book
Yeah,
that I
blank.
bring to the game all the time. This thing.
With all the
It
names?
doesn't vanish. Oh, it's gonna vanish. That's hysterical. Here's my book right here.
I saw
It's-
Flash
it's,
by.
It's really here. It's really here. For some reason, this book doesn't appear on Nycos video. It's very funny. But if you ever looked inside of it,
Now, right there, I saw it when it was down.
right, you can barely.
I saw the.
That's the mist of it. But okay, so some of them are just pages. Like this one is names of midgets, names of poltoons, names of vessels. Over here, I'll give you an example of a couple of entries. The ugly grinning rook that is singing off key. They're just little snippets so that when I'm telling a story, I can go in here and flip through and be talking to you guys about thus and such, and in my brain, I'm grabbing a piece of this and going, oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, so as you're going through town, there's an elf, bright blonde hair, and wearing a blue sundress, and she's walking a horse. But it's interesting because she's walking a lame horse.
Lame
Alright.
horse?
Okay, well, that doesn't mean anything unless it means something to the player. Now, a player who is a healer or is into nature or likes horses or da-da-da-da-da-da, they're going to respond to that.
Everybody likes
So
horses.
these pages are just full of little bitty bits of information that I, as a storyteller, can weave into the story.
Right. I took notes to keep the storyline consistent and player positioning consistent.
Ooh, that's a nice word. Did you see it in the text, Gene?
What's that?
He gave you the word for Sundance.
Oh,
Lots of words, lots of
it's,
options.
it's on the in the chat.
So how Elvish works is that you have these prefixes and suffixes, and they can go together in almost any order
Okay.
to get what you mean.
You work today, John?
So the trick to understanding
No, I
Elvish
don't
is
work
knowing these prefixes and suffixes.
No, I don't
Is
work
it
tonight.
Anar
We're gonna build some
Lilta
houses in.
means
What's that?
So we
sundancer.
can build some houses in.
Okay,
Or play some Stellaris. Dave
Anar
wants to play.
Vita. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I have to step away for
There's
just
two
a second.
L's,
Guys,
Lil
don't take
Ta.
off. I'll
Oh,
be
I
right
see.
back.
Lilta.
All right, time to go. Bye, guys.
No, hang on. I'll be right back.
Anar little.
It's like lilter, like as in
Yeah.
to lilt, as in like a flower falling.
Yeah.
Anordilta or anordilta or urdilta urdilta. It's up to you.
Anar little.
Wait, what?
Anordilta.
Anar little. Isu
Doesn't sound right.
Isilmil anordilta or
near
urdilta.
Sounds better when he says it.
or little. Liltha.
Ah,
That's it.
Liltha is also one.
Liltha.
Or
Where's
lila.
little fa.
Yeah.
If you don't want the T, it can,
Anor
lila also
Lilta,
works.
I like a little better than Anar Lilta.
Anor lila. It also works.
And say that one. Anor.
Anor lila.
Okay.
Lila.
Anor.
Lida.
Lila. Lila.
Lilla. Lila.
Lila.
Anor lila.
Okay. LL. Done. Anor little.
Nimlothiel.
And
Just is one.
Anor Lila. So she's
Lila.
near Anor Lilta. Lila.
Narsil is also, but that's not. Narsil is actually a combination of sun and moon.
Oh, is this a Pokemon game?
Narsil
Yeah.
is both Anar and Isil, which means moon. So Narsil.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
But Narsil
Got it.
is the name of the sword of Elendil.
Yes.
It's also the. Yeah. I am very proud that I am able to say that I am a elven etymologist, as well as a I don't know what the word is, a Lord of the Rings historian,
Anor Lila.
a Tolkien
Anor
historian.
Lila. Anor Lila.
Or you are, or you are I, Urilila.
Yeah, I like Anor or Anor Lila.
Okay.
What? Vengeance. Vengeance. How did I get Vent? Oh, okay.
Taranarion.
What does that mean?
That means sun.
Sounds like
Son of the sun.
I'm back.
Son
Hey,
of
what up?
Anarion. Well, it actually
Okay,
means
so she's Ilsilmir Anor Lila.
Anarlila.
Anor
Anorlila.
Lila.
Anorlila. Cool.
Means sun dancer.
Nice.
It's much prettier than Sundancer, I think.
I think so too.
Well, it's pure elven. She's a primus, by the way.
Of course she is.
fine.
Praxis is a half elf.
So wait, is
Excellent.
she
I think he's half Fey though.
is she part of our town? Like born out one of our towns or something?
No, from Primus, she's from the High Mountains. She's actually
Ah.
more than likely. Are you? Did you intend to be of this iteration, or are you a previous iteration?
No. No.
She
So,
comes from the 6.
No to both of those.
what iteration?
First.
The ninth.
No?
Nope, can't do
Oh,
that.
nope.
Can't do that?
Nope.
8th?
Because
Nope,
there's no guarantee.
Because
There's no storms that lead to the ninth, and there's no.
But there's a
knowing.
train that brought somebody from the ninth.
No, they announced that on the train. That's not the same thing, but yes.
There's also no reason to believe that there are storms in the ninth either.
Right.
Oh,
Hopefully,
they'll be all
we
fixed by
fix
the
this
end of it.
thing.
If we fix it right, there won't be any storms.
Well,
And
then
there's
I'm
just
not
big books.
exactly sure when I came from.
Then be from now.
Fourth.
When did you? what do you want the condition of your existence to be? Are the Primus friendly with everybody, or are they standoffish? Are you elitist or not?
I'm not personally an elitist.
No. Is your
I
people are your people elitist in your time frame, in your perception?
I was gonna say that they're slightly elitist. There's some are, and then some aren't, and I'm definitely not.
That would put you in the fourth.
Okay.
Fourth,
Haha, I called
fourth,
it.
fourth iteration is when there was the Elven War.
Does anyone else think that my picture looks just a little bit like a really young Jim Carrey?
It looks very. It looks
No,
actually it looks like a cross between Jim Carrey and Johnny Cash, which makes him a good, rugged, almost scary. He's looked like he you should
he's
almost
kind
be
of
afraid of him.
lantern jawed,
Yeah, it's
and his
like you're.
eyes are a little deep
But
set.
but look at the brow. That's totally Jim Carrey's brow and nose.
Yeah, maybe. But there's
He
other.
just doesn't have the
But
crazy
but
smile.
not the mouth,
It's also
not the
It's
mouth,
also Kirk
and
Douglas.
not the cheeks.
It's also Kirk Douglas's eyebrows.
I got it. It's a mixture of Jim Carrey and uh what's his name?
But those
Damn it,
lips.
I'm so bad at names.
Jim Morrison.
Better than that.
Jim Crow.
Riders on the storm.
So what type of section are you supposed to be?
Riders on the storm.
Polar bear looks panda bear. That's a Pandaren from World of Warcraft.
Oh, so he's Earth sign. Okay, which is not really true because pandas aren't real bears, but that's okay.
Nope,
Hey,
they're more akin to the
No,
raccoon.
we lend itself to the Earth sign, so there you go. Coloration be damned.
But I can't believe that you said that nothing will go wrong. That is so anti-white veil. I don't even know how to say it.
Anti-white veil.
Yeah, nothing will go wrong.
Yeah, don't
Well,
think.
what would a white veil say?
May
Yeah.
nothing stand in your way. Nothing is a good thing, remember? If nothing will go wrong, that's meaning that the nothing will fail, which is
Oh
bad.
well, I was saying anything wrong then. Maybe I'm black.
Now I can see him saying that. I don't see anything wrong with saying nothing's wrong, but nothing's not wrong.
Now he would say, I see nothing
Wrong
incorrect.
with that.
I see nothing wrong. I see skipping light fandango
Exactly.
and the
see,
Minotaur's
I can
tail.
see no wrong. I can see no wrong. There you go.
See, if you didn't hear it, I was singing a whiter shade of pale
Yes.
or a paler shade of white. Ha
Nice.
ha ha ha! Get it? Because he's half black.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope.
So, if you get the meta of where this story currently is going, Cord, is you want to know the seats of power. The seats of power and leadership come from figuring out what it was that made you who you are and living your life in spite of them. Does that make sense?
I have to address the nurture of my process.
Then ignore it.
What?
No, go ahead. I was listening to you. Listening to you. You were saying something.
I lost my train of thought.
You were
said,
saying that you have to find the nurture of what made you you, and then I butt in rudely and said so that you can ignore it. Because what John was just saying was that becoming a leader is knowing what happened to you and what made you who you are, but being who you are regardless of it.
Oh.
So when you reach
you can't lead others until you know what your failings are, and then realizing that your failings were conditional situations about which you probably didn't have any control, and therefore
Right.
you can get past. A great example was the fact that now that I'm an ambassador for Amazon, one of my greatest strengths is that I was almost kicked out of Amazon because of not being able to achieve their numeric goals. I got written up 5 weeks into my job and at 8 weeks into my job, and the two of those would have meant that in another 90 days, if I'd have failed one more time, I would have been fired. By
Very
being able,
Sun Tzu of you.
well, exactly. Well, okay, but
Sun Zooey.
nice.
That's awesome.
That's a good adjectivizing of that noun. But yeah, so the trick is just you have to be able to identify when those clarifying moments are,
Oh.
and say, "Yep, that happened. That was the thing," and still be able to function. Because our world says those barriers. That's the stopping point. You should quit. I can't tell you how many friends of mine went through, got all the way to university, went to go get a degree, and in their second or third year they failed one of the critical courses, and it ruined them individually. They felt like they'd built their path to climb the wall, to climb the ladder of success, only to find it leaning against the wrong wall.
It is startling to realize that the whole reason why inspirational speakers are viable is because of the common person cannot comprehend success. They cannot comprehend what it means to face adversity and keep going. That is so rare for people to
Oh,
appreciate that an inspirational speaker just giving his own regular story about, hey, this horrible thing happened to me, and look, I didn't care, is so strange and so rare that it is awe-inspiring to some people.
I don't know. There's so many people that come overcome problems every day in their lives.
But the ones that
They're
do,
not all beaten down
no,
by
no, no,
life.
no,
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 no.
no, Gene. But what we're saying is that those people that function that way and never talk to anybody about it are just arguably are just as numerous as those that make it or fail. But the difference is that the person that steps to the plate afterward and says, "Wait a minute, if I did it, you can too." Those become your inspirational speakers. That's what he's
Okay.
speaking of. He said specifically that he's speaking of those people who become inspirational speakers. And the reason why they're able to do so is they say, "I messed up. I was against the ropes. It happened to me." But it doesn't have to end your life. It doesn't have to stop you from moving ahead. As a matter of fact, look what I did. And then they're able to help you and lead you to that higher ground.
Right. I'm just saying that the fact that it's so surprising and so awe-inspiring to so many people has to mean that there's a large portion of people that don't think that that's something that's easily doable. That's something that cannot be done, something heroic to overcome struggle.
Yeah.
Perseverance is not something that's built into people anymore, it seems.
Go eat some.
Well,
Huh.
I mean,
I
I've
didn't
got
know
the
I had
first
this
half
one.
of that down. I'm pretty good at messing up.
I don't think that's true. I think you don't realize how successful you are.
Remember, part of success is finding what fails and then changing your path to one of success.
No. Let's go with what people might call your quote your hit list of great failures. You got to be the point break, and everybody had to beat you up because you interrupted. But the key was you interrupted the ritual. You stopped the bad guys from winning,
That's right.
right? The other times when you had the problem with the SecGen, you still ripped the wings off their ship and prevented them from making it into orbit. Remember, they didn't get to return to the candle because
Oh yeah, with the others.
when you were trying to take the ship and make it and whatever, you destroyed their vessel, so they couldn't. So even though it's a failure in terms of what you thought you wanted to accomplish, nonetheless it's a major success because the bad guys didn't do what they were going to get to do.
All right.
So you need to kind of just get perspective, and to do that you got to let time pass and see the outcomes from a different perspective. You know,
Always look on the bright side of life.
you also help the fire giants, regain their castle.
Right.
And we learned a lot
That was
there
a major
too.
success. That really was, because
Okay.
the return of the giants is going to be really helpful in the healing of the world, because there's going to be something that can fight the Undlin on the western front.
Is there something wrong, Cord?
No, I'm just tired. I've got to get up, or not tomorrow, but you guys remember I'm not gonna be in next week. I'm gonna go
Yes, you're going
vacation.
camping.
Oh.
Right.
Yes,
Hey, you
yes.
should get the little. There's a little
But
package of.
Cord, if there's anything going on that you need to talk to us about, feel free to contact us, because everyone here is an ally and a friend.
All right.
All
Cool.
right.
Thank you.
No problem. Just you if you got issues going on, we're glad to be a sounding board, because
In or out of the game?
I know this is going to sound crazy, but all of us guys were you at one point. I know it's going to be sounds weird to think of, but
Yeah, I know.
okay.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Like I said, my son, I made him remember that in advance. I said, "You're gonna think this way. You're gonna think that way," and he goes, "No, no, Dad, that's not gonna be me. I'm never gonna do that." Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes, you will. So just know you got somebody to talk to, dude.
All right. Well, thank you all for the game. I'll see you the week after next.
Yes.
Okay,
Have a great camping trip. Enjoy
yeah,
yourself.
Bye.
enjoy.
Go hunt down a bear and make some bear soup.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, greasy.
Well, don't actually do that though.
Talk to you later. If a bear attacks you, kill it and make bear soup. I'm okay with that. All right,
Are
we're
we
gonna have
still
to end
online?
the stream, so let me get out of here. Thank you guys for watching us for all of this. Thank you for your constant participation, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget, we also do Iteration Nation, where I'm seeking the holy grail of video games. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. And that's not just me, of course. That's me, Sergeant Savvy, and Corporal Punishment, General Nuisance.
Bye.
And General Nuisance.
I got you. And I was gonna say, I also have to include Admiral Glub
Admiral
Glub
Glub Glub.
and
Captain Cardboard.
Captain Cardboard, and who is our other
Admiral Aptitude.
Aptitude. That's it. All right. See you guys all later. Bye.